All right, are we going? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon, and I'm back today with yet another episode of the City of Mist, Nights in Payne premiere. This is kind of a part two, I guess, because last night we had our first premiere, and now we're back to continue the mystery with Metamancer at our head. So let's go around and figure out who we are and who we're going to be playing. Let's start with our MC for tonight, Metamancer. How's it going, my friend?
Good. Glad to be back for another wonderful time with City Mist. I am Metamancer. Oh, are we muted still? We good?
No, Dave is trolling me.
Oh.
He's fucking trolling me.
Oh, rude. Okay, yeah, I'm Metamancer, I'm the MC, and I also do the Larkspur sequence on Thursdays on this channel. So if you guys like this, come on back.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have some wonderful new folks with us back today for tonight's cast. We have Sid with us tonight. Sid, how's it going?
Hello, I had to unmute. Hi, it's great. I'm so excited to be here and play this game. I love this game. I've only got to play it once with McLoken, and now I get to play it with his self-described much better half. And so I'm thrilled. It's not rude because he says it. Right. That's what he says. Yeah, I'm so excited to get to play with like people that have been on my goals list for literally years. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. In agreement, we were describing how we would kill in real life for Jim Davis. Speaking of which, Jim, the man with all of that power, how's it going, my friend?
No, Jim is actually muted.
You're just trolling me as well.
Yeah,
that was Carl.
I found out yesterday. Yesterday that I was a role-playing time traveler, so I'm just getting used to that new reality, as well as the pocket assassin that I have that I'm playing with this evening, Sid. So I'm having a great time, ready to dig in and get down on some City of Mist.
Amazing. And of course, we have Blue Jay back with us tonight. Blue Jay, how's it going?
It's going good. I am really happy to play this game because I haven't had the chance to play City of Mists yet. But ever since I learned about it, I've wanted to, and I've seen that Meta on her Twitter is like running it all the time, and I'm just like, give it to me. So now I get to have it, and I'm excited. Also, I forgot that you describe yourself as a D&D sex icon, and it made me want to immediately leave. So thank you for that.
You're more than welcome. As for myself, I will be playing Turner tonight, who is an ex-hitman in a very real sense, despite Sid being a very much real-life hitman for Jim Davis exclusively. But now I work for a private corporation. Yeah. And I'm here today to have a good time with Metamancer again. I just couldn't get enough last night, so I was like, you know what, we're going to play again tomorrow. So here we are. And of course, we're here because of City of Mist, which you can check out here. There's a giveaway right there for the Gleam giveaway for 3 copies of a core rulebook. And tonight, in fact, at the end of tonight's show, we'll be giving away a PDF copy as well. So stick around towards the end. I'll be giving away a copy for you guys there in chat. Meta, take us away. What are we going to be doing tonight? Talk to us a little bit about City of Mist, Nights of Payne Town, and all this good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know where to start. First of all, I have to say it again, is my favorite system. Second of all, the rules are very simple. It's 2d6 plus modifiers, or power plus power and modifiers. Modifiers being plus or minus effects, right? So it's a very simple rule set as far as that is concerned. During gameplay, I will guide you guys through that so that when you're choosing what actions to take, I'll tell you guys what the intended result might be based on what your narrative is and so on and so forth. This is a player-heavy focused game, as in the DM never rolls the dice, ever. This is all players. You guys tell the story. I'm here to help you leverage opportunities and give you a little refereeing when you need help. And that's pretty much it. So everything that we do is focused around telling a very good story. So that just keep that front of mind the entire time. If it sounds cool, you could probably do it. So yeah, no limits on that front. So I guess, is there anything specific that we wanted to touch base on about City of Mist before we jump into our narrative?
I'm just ripped roaring ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm hyped to get this party started.
Same.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, let's do this then. Without further ado, we begin Knights of Payne Town. You had no idea that today was that day. It couldn't be, right? You pushed open the gates. They invited you there after all. There's no way that it could have possibly been as bad as it looked. Your feet kick up the dirt and the dust from a place that has long been forgotten. A wind sweeps up the fabric of nearby tents. You could swear there were whispers of music and singing, just for a moment. Whatever thought you may be having right now can wait, because the remnants of the past have come and beckoned you to play. This game is deadly. Ahead, a dark tunnel lay before you, and through it, in the darkness, emerges a tiger. My friends, you are there all together. Familiar faces abound. And there is a very large hulking tiger in front of you, and it does not look very happy. Hope nobody's afraid of cats.
This tiger is
It's a bad name.
Definitely not on a leash or a chain.
So, remind me, like, we're like walking down like what, an alley, and there was just a tiger.
Not an alley. You guys are at an undisclosed location. For the purposes of narrative, you guys walked into a fairground. And that's where you are right now. Yep. I don't explicitly say it, but the pieces go together after a fact. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah.
I think that Nancy, I don't think I described what she looks like, but she's kind of young for what someone would think of an investigative reporter. Like, she's very jaded for her like early 20s, I think. Tan skin, really, really curly black hair. And she was kind of walking like haughtily, scuffing her feet in the dust a little bit, and then we see the tiger, and she like stops and is like, certainly hope this is one of your friends, and looks around at the rest of the group.
All right.
See if anyone.
Turner is wearing shades and wears like a full piece suit, cropped hair, looks like Agent 47 but old, and yeah, he's probably more in his late 50s to 60s at this point. And he looks at the tiger with some surprise behind the glasses, says, I don't have any friends.
So Katie is like frozen sort of in the position that she's in, and she like kind of looks to make eye contact with the people around her, and it's like, should we run now? And I think we should probably run. So can we start rolling now to run away? I have some things for this.
I never run.
No, this is so. Declan sort of like is used to odd, weird things just sort of randomly happening, and can we sort of discern what this tiger's essence is? Does it seem, is it a real tiger, or is it something else?
You can try to do a change the game and use your abilities to try to figure that out, or investigate, though. If you try to investigate the tiger, that's probably not the most safe of ideas.
You have to get close to it. Yeah.
I mean, if we want to get close to it, I could try that. I'm just like looking around at everyone, and no one's like, yeah, this is my tiger. It's fine. Like, so I'm just like,
this is my tiger. So good.
It's not my tiger.
Nobody has claimed tiger.
I think that Nancy, like, she's wearing like jeans and like a leather jacket, very like cool. And she squats down just a little bit more so that she's not like really like tall and straight backed. She's like a little bit like on her haunches, and she like clicks like, and it's like, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And I would like to use my talk my way out of anything like smooth talker to try and just like, we're cool, me and this cat, like, it's fine. And So
Okay.
could I?
Yeah.
So give me a rundown on how I would. It's just 2d6 plus any kind of abilities power tags that I would have that would go with this.
Yes.
Or
That would help you. Yes. Minus any weaknesses. In this case, do you want to use your rift abilities to influence this, or is this something that you're just trying to do?
I think this is her being like, she's set aback enough by the fact that this is something that's completely out of the normal that she falls a little bit back on this like native like power in her, as opposed to like the natural instinct when you see a tiger not on a leash or anything is to just fucking run. Or so I feel like with these people, especially when we've got experience, you said before, and like we kind of know that weird shit happens around each other. She's just instinctively like falling back into like her rift powers. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely. Let's do a change the game then.
Okay.
It's 2d6 plus power.
All right. So my power is just 1.
Which power tags did you want to use?
I was gonna use Smooth Talker, and I don't think I'm trying to be like super sneaky about this, but maybe the fact that like I'm like there's an animalisticness to her power with the like the spider stuff that might tie in. Would you allow that in MC?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, so 2d6 plus 2?
Plus 2. Yeah.
Okay. Let's hope for a good first roll.
Hey,
It's
nice.
A 9, which
9 is a hit.
it's not
good.
the worst thing
It's
to
good.
ever happen.
A 10 or more is a great success, so a 9 is like right there. So yes, as a 9, that will give you, because you rolled with 2 power, so this is more explanation of rules. You rolled with 2 power, which means you get 2 juice to apply to this effect that you want to achieve. And you can describe to us what it looks like physically and what happens to the tiger as you apply this status to it, essentially. So are you going to try to calm it, or what is the final result you want here?
The result that I want is like her power that she's using to influence over this animal is giving it more of like a house cat and less of like a tiger kind of vibe. And also she's, because of the whole like she used her power of the like spider stuff. Like this is like we're peers here. I'm not like better or lesser than you. I'm not prey. So like she's like wanting it to be like less wild, and also to be like on a level with her, like not feeling like she's threatening, but also not feeling like she's prey. So
okay, yeah. So let's do a status of
kitty.
Tamed. We'll say
tamed is good. Yeah.
And I will write that down because I'll forget otherwise. So tamed. And so you have 2 powers. So you
tiger.
Can,
so I can give it
powers,
like
so
2 tags?
Or you can do a 2. Yes, you can apply 2, or you can like try to hold on. If you wanted to hold on to it, like the second juice, you can bank it for that scene and use it like later. It's up to you though.
Okay, yeah, I'll bank it because we might want to do something with this tiger. Because now we got a tame tiger. It's fine. Yeah, so what happens is like she makes that noise. She crouches down a little bit. She's like, kitty, kitty. And then she like creeps a little bit forward and the cat doesn't like come at her. And so then like she's like, and I'm guessing this is like a pretty tense thing, but there's this like demeanor change on the tiger where it goes from like, I'm hunting you kind of to be like, I'm a cat. I'm just a cat. I'm a big cat, but I'm a cat. And then like she like hesitantly tries to like pet it behind the ear.
Okay.
And
it doesn't immediately react to anything that you're doing as far as that's concerned. For other people, it might be a different story. You specifically have this bond. So
right. And so I think she does that, and it doesn't like try and eat her hand. So she like lets out her breath. All right. Tiger. That's fine. And she's like looking around at the rest of the group, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie like leans over to whoever's closest to her at this point and says, "You know, in all the years that I've known her, I never knew that she spoke half."
Okay. So this won't stay forever. Keep in mind.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Is there anyone else around? Can we hear other people or anything?
So
Like,
when
are
you
there
walked in
crowds nearby
here,
or something?
no, it's actually an abandoned place. So the fact that there's a tiger here in the first place is very strange. Secondly, yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Declan, this tiger's just in the middle of nowhere. It's got to be something outside. Some handler or something nearby.
Someone's lost their cat. Maybe we should put up a wanted poster.
And I think like while I'm like as close as the cat's letting me right now, I'll try and like see if there's anything about it. Like it's got like, I don't know, a collar or like looks like it's come from somewhere
if
else.
lost, please return to.
I don't know. Like while it's still letting me like be next to it, I'm just gonna check and see if I can find out anything about this cat before I'm just like continue on or wherever we're trying to get to.
Yeah, there's
Hard to get
no
tigers.
identification markers of any kind on him.
Okay.
So part of my whole shtick, I guess, is that Katie has these like premonitions like coming towards her, and so I'm wondering if I could do sort of an investigation and use power tags, like maybe premonitions to see if I've had a vision of something like this coming, and then I also have something called piece of the puzzle, like to see if this is meant to lead us somewhere. And then on top of that, I've got another one that's called No Stone Unturned. So I take that as like, everything around me I'm taking in and seeing if anything could be indicative of what this is supposed to mean.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to do an investigate in this particular case? Since you're using your abilities to like use the clues around you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that.
Okay. So
I'll also note that Lady Purple has donated a wild magic surge to our new friend Nancy. Now this is a D10,000 roll of madness with some strange effect that can happen to any of the players when chat donates it. So you can roll a D10,000 and I'll put the command in the VMix chat flash /die 1d10,000. Yeah. Oops, wrong command. Ignore
So
the
just
at the end of that.
die D10 10,000.
Yeah, die 1d10,000, then I'll look up and see what happens.
6,871.
Oh gosh.
That's good.
Okay.
So I rolled one, and I rolled a 19 on the D10,000.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. Let's see. So Nancy won't be able to sleep in the next D100 days. Maybe something's keeping her up. That's exciting.
No sleep? Okay. So D100 days. Let's see how many days. Oh God, this is gonna be bad. I can't sleep for the next 26 days. I'm gonna go crazy. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
This is a lot. This is a lot of things that can happen to you. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of rolls. And who wrote all of this? Because
some mad genius with too much time on their hands, I'd imagine.
Okay, so 26 days I can't sleep. I'll write that down. God damn. So
this is like
cat,
slowly turning into Call of Cthulhu, and you're gonna like start losing sanity.
Oh yeah.
This cat, I guess, is not everything that it appears to be, or using my powers tapped into something else. I'll think about fictionally how that works in.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, so you rolled an 11 for your investigate roll, Sid. So you can take 4 questions and answer and ask me those 4 questions. They have to do with what you can viably see within the area or like sense as far as like premonitions go. So yeah, ask me specific pointed questions and I will give you solid leads or clear answers.
Okay.
4.
Oh, this is pressure. Okay, so I guess the first one is have I had any sort of visions or anything that I feel like, okay, this is what that thing was about, that dream, that vision, that weird memory that was ripped from my subconscious recently, like anything like that this could like tie into?
Yes, you remember seeing the fairgrounds before, and it was in the similar kind of dilapidated state that it's in now, but there were more people here, but they weren't really people, or were they? They were definitely beings here, so to speak.
Maybe they were tigers.
But your dream wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what they are.
Okay. So that tells me that like this place is somehow relevant to my shit. Okay, gotcha. And I guess then the next one is like did I see,
you can open it to the table. Also,
if
just
anybody
as a
wants
heads
to
up.
throw out some suggestions here, I'm feeling a lot of pressure and I'm getting sweaty, so if anybody's got anything.
This is an investigate move, yeah?
Yeah.
We're just investigating in the area, and you were asking questions based on your premonitions?
Yeah, so I get like 4 questions to ask.
Okay.
Figure out what's next.
So I would say what brought us here is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
You want that one?
Yeah. Okay, I'll use that.
Yeah, there was a case that you and Nancy were actually hired on together to solve. A woman by the name of Ellie, her husband was missing, and the police refused to do anything because he wasn't missing for long enough. But she knew something was wrong. And your clues led you here.
Okay.
You could also ask about maybe if there was an owner that you can see in the premonition. Maybe this Ellie girl is tied to the tiger.
Yeah, where did this tiger come from on these grounds? Like, is there like a specific tent
like a home.
Where? Like, where is it? Like, 'cause it's got to be eating somewhere to be like surviving. It's got to be like doing some sort of maintenance.
Quick question. So, Declan experienced premonitions as well. Is there a way to maybe like uncontrolled, like, because he can't control them, like as Katie is experiencing these premonitions, that Declan gets like swept up in it, and maybe his knowledge of like smuggling would be like, who brought this tiger to the city? Tiger just didn't show up. Maybe someone, I don't know what role or move that would be, but
the tiger dealer.
You could probably do change the game in this case if you want to apply a couple power tags, and we'll see.
I'd like to apply premonitions as this as sort of a rider on that, and then smuggling from dubious antiquities dealer, and history maybe, like if there's some sort of, because I'm thinking like tigers are beings that like have a mystical symbology and iconography to them, so maybe I might learn something about this owner if they are using this tiger in a symbolic sense.
Okay.
So it'd be 2d6 plus 3?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, let's see if we can help out here.
And I think while the other characters
13.
are doing, they're like, oh damn. I'm just like seeing how much I can like friend with this tiger, basically. So while like all this like thinking and looking around is happening, I'm just like, will you let me pet you here? Like, can I like hug? No? Okay. Like that's what Nancy's do.
Okay.
So while all very investigatory, very power-using stuff is going on, I'm just trying to make friends with the tiger. It's fine.
I'm gonna get to a high point, maybe like if there's a hill or just a building I can climb up nearby. I'm gonna get up there and take a look around.
Okay. You're inside the tent, so you could use the stands, like the audience stands. You know what I'm talking about? Like, think it kind of circus, but not exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you could always go up top there. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. So, okay, with the 2 questions that Sid has left, the one was, sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was the last question that you asked for?
It was like basically, could we see where this tiger is from in the fairgrounds?
Right. Okay, yeah. For that, what you get a sense of is that the tiger has never left the fairgrounds before, or has ever been outside the fairgrounds, for that matter.
We're off this. Interesting.
Which, at that point in time, when you have that flash, Declan, you kind of get swept up and pulled in. What I'm going to give you here, so to change the game in this particular case, there's a few things you can do with a 13. So on a 10 or more, you get an extra 2 juice to spend. So your total juice is power plus the additional, which is a total of 5, so 3 plus 2. With that said, you can do extra effects because you rolled over a 10. There's like 3 major effects that you can do. You can scale it up to impact a greater area. In this particular case, not necessarily applicable, but that's something you can do. You can prolong it, which means you can make this last longer for yourself if you wanted to. Or you could hide the effect. So if you guys were in like a very public place and you didn't want things to be seen, or if you were trying to keep something from your party, you could try to hide the effect instead. So those are the extras that you can do. But the baseline would be, you can create yourself some story tags, you can give or reduce statuses, or you can burn power tags or stories. That's if like there's an opposition in front of you and you want to try to bring their defenses down, so to speak. You could be like, okay, I'm going to burn the strong power tag, or you tell me I want to burn one of their power tags that keeps them from getting damaged by us or something like that.
Gotcha.
So that's offensive. Yeah.
Okay. So for story tags,
variety.
So we're still kind of investigating, and Katie and Declan are in this sort of vision premonition thing. Is there a way to add a story tag that'll give us some clarity and maybe like heighten those parts of the premonition that are relevant to us?
Yeah.
I don't know what that would look like in the system. Come, Katie. We can venture deeper into the dream.
I think because of the way that your abilities work between hers, even though you don't have control, she does. So I think it's a duality of she's bringing you with her on the story, but you're seeing things that she's not necessarily paying attention to. Gotcha. So that way you guys can get additional clues out of that. So with that said, I would say extra set of pair of eyes maybe is the story tag that benefits the both of you. And do you want to prolong it or do anything else along those lines?
I'd like to prolong it so that we can spend more time in the premonition.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess
sounds good.
Just kind of like Declan at least just sort of has a 1,000-yard stare as this goes on.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so extra set of eyes. So that's going to be, you want to prolong it for the both of you at a total of 5 power. If you want to do 2 and 2 on each of you and then 1 to increase it, or you can bank it. You can also bank them.
Let's bank the 1, yeah?
Okay.
Is that like a group pool kind of thing?
You can use it to assist sometimes, but yeah, as long as you use it within the scene, it'll be fine. You won't lose it or anything like that, so...
Okay, so I have one more question.
Yes.
So I think, feel free to chime in and veto this one, but I think maybe the next one is like, what is giving us an indication of where to go next? Like, is this tiger trying to lead us somewhere, or is there an obvious path of which it came from? Yeah, is Timmy in the well? Like,
Well, is this a Lassie moment? No.
Yes, is this old Yeller coming up and like?
Okay, is that the question that you want to ask to see if it's here to help or otherwise kind of thing?
Yeah, is it here to assist or lead, or what's its purpose in relationship to us? Okay,
yeah, purpose. It was sent here to kill you, all of you.
Oh, great. Okay.
And you get a sense, actually, Declan, you get a sense as you're watching this. This is where it's difficult because Katie's trying to go one way and you're trying to pull and look at something else. So you don't get as clear of an image as you want, but there is definitely somebody that is commanding this creature. He is not standing, he is sitting. And you can't really see what he's sitting in or where he is, but you can tell that it is a man, a figure of a man, and commanding the tiger.
Okay.
So that's kind of, yeah.
Declan's used to these things not really going the way he wants, so he'll just follow along after as Katie leads the premonition.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So that was your questions. What will happen is I'm doing I don't remember the exact terminology, but we're gonna hold on resolving the rest of the premonition until something else happens in the scene. So you guys are mid premonition while something else is happening. So with that said, Nancy, the tiger is getting a little bit fussy, but he's still like okay.
Okay, and do we get any, I'm guessing that some of this information from the premonitions has been like told to us by Katie or Declan? Specifically, I was wondering if Declan would be like, this tiger's got a boss that's like telling it to do something.
No, I definitely think like Katie would look out for you and probably call out and be like, maybe you shouldn't be still touching it. I think it's actually been sent here for unfriendly purposes. Maybe you want to back away, Nancy.
And I think Nancy, like, she feels the tiger getting like stop touching me. And instead of like backing off, because I still have this one juice, right? Mm-hmm. From before. I think what she does is she like squats right in front of its like slobbery jaws. And she like grabs it behind the ears and looks it directly in the eyes. And she's like, "Where's your boss, kitty kitty?" And it's just like fucking dare you. And I think like, is there a way to make that tag like a lead, like a leash or something? Or like just like make it so it like understands? Or like a tag, it's like a verb, right? Or something? Adjective?
Yeah, well, an adjective. I'm trying to think of a good way to describe that's applicable to this thing.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe it's just like return. Like it goes back and we can follow it. Or like
I'll give you that.
Okay, so her second one she puts for like return, and I guess probably because it's like the tame part is wearing off, it might like, you know, growl at her a little bit, to which point like she would back off because she doesn't want to get bit by a tiger. But then it like starts to like go wherever it came from, and I think Nancy would turn back and like get up off her haunches and brush the dust off her hands and be like, well, I mean, I don't want someone trying to kill me all the time, so let's get down to the bottom of this right now, huh?
Agreed.
I'm just a little bit nervous about going straight to the person who's trying to have us murdered and mauled to death.
No,
If they
come
wanted
on.
us
Large feline.
dead, they would have just killed us.
You know,
Turner.
Katie. You know, Katie. Someone tries to kill you with a giant cat. That's someone I kind of want to know, honestly.
She's right.
Well,
Dumb.
Nancy
Should I
and
kill her?
seem to have always had sort of a different approach to our work. And
I think that she like comes up to you and like pats you on the shoulder and then like starts like dragging you along like casually like behind this cat like as it walks away, and she's like, "It'll be fine. We got these two." And she like glances like at Declan and Turner, and then like looks back at you, and she's like, "You got me. Everything will be okay."
And she's like kind of holding on to you too, and she's like, "Dear Jesus, okay." Okay.
So let's follow this cat.
Okay.
See if we can find the person that sicked him on us.
Absolutely. In the meantime, Turner, as you guys are about to leave, you notice that there are two people that walk through the other end of the tent. Like the tent flap, and it gets pulled back and you can see two people come in. And they appear to be looking around. So you spot them first. You're not sure if they're friendly or not, but given the situation...
I stage whisper over to the party. Hey. 2 tangos. Over here.
They armed?
Could be. Not with tigers, though.
Didn't want 3 tigers.
3 tigers would be too much to handle. 1 tiger is good. Could kill a tiger.
Easily.
But not 3.
Not 3.
2, maybe.
It's too many. 3. It's too many.
3's the crowd. So.
Like a good wheel.
Well, Turner, do you want to go talk to them and see what their deal is, since you're so unafraid since they don't have tigers?
Because they don't have tigers. And only because they don't have tigers. Yes. Watch my 6.
Katie leans over to Nancy and he's like, does he think that that's the lingo that we use in our work?
The tigers. I'll keep an eye on the cat, see where it's going. You, I guess, keep an eye on the boys. Make sure they don't get into too much trouble. And I am just wherever the cat's going, I'm assuming it's out of the tent. I'm just gonna open and keep one eye to see where it goes and another eye to make sure that no one starts shooting, I guess.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. So Turner, are you going down to the people that are there?
Yes.
Okay. So immediately you notice that these people are not they appear to be very tall, closing in on 7 feet tall. So that's kind of weird. But you also notice that they don't look extraordinary in any way, aside from their height, really. They're, wearing some basic t-shirt and jeans, some work boots moving forward. And you see actually one of them has a workman's belt, a construction belt with supplies and tools hung on one side. And that one moves kind of forward a little bit more, notices you, glances up, and appears to try to reach for something. Does not say anything to you, though.
Gentlemen,
If you want, you can act.
have you lost your tiger?
They look at each other for a brief moment and look at the rest of the party that's kind of out the side near where the tiger was. Notice Declan and Katie. Don't see Nancy, but they look back up to you, Turner, and one of them draws a gun and is about to fire at you.
Big mistake.
Huge.
Huge.
Okay, let's go ahead and have you do face danger.
You probably work on commission here. All right. Way to face danger. Okay. So I am tough as nails. I can transform into armor. So I'm going to be my sword is going to be materializing as this happens. And it's a long kind of, it looks very medieval, right? It's like a longsword. I am indestructible, which is super useful. And I have perfect timing. So I think those 4 things are what what helped me here. I am also emotionally impervious, but I don't think that helps too much right now.
No.
My weakness tag is that I'm exposed and I'm out of cover, and I'm definitely out in the open here, so I think it's just a +3.
Okay.
So,
Roll it.
roll these bones. Oh, really? Every night it's been like this? Okay, 6.
Well, that's exciting. That only, that's, not great. Let's go ahead and you're gonna take a bullet wound. 2.
Oh.
Okay. And that is going to be a thing for you right now. So that immediately happens. Declan, you see this happen, the exchange, and the other one starts to move inward towards the middle of the tent where you and Katie are.
Oh dear.
All right. Can we act? Are we like cognizant
Yeah.
of what's going on around us? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. If I go, so I've got subconscious reaction speed. I think Declan's seeing Turner get shot.
Yes.
The other guy pull out a gun too.
No,
Or is just
he's
one?
moving in towards you guys. The one with the worker belt has pulled the gun and
Okay.
shot Turner. Yeah.
So is it possible for me to Declan's going to take out his automatic and return fire, and at the same time he's not so much trying to hit the guy as he is trying to just shoot at him while he helps himself and Katie get to cover.
Okay. Yeah. That's.
So I've got subconscious reaction speed from my living dream, a good shot, and tactical coordination. Can I use 2 tags from the same gunslinger? I don't know what you call that. Identity.
Yeah.
So he's got okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
In that case, good shot, tactical coordination, and sets +3.
Okay. And let's figure out which move we're doing here.
Oh yeah.
You're trying to get you guys to cover. So I would
Yeah.
say this might be a go toe-to-toe to see if you can beat him out before he gets to you.
Okay. All right, here goes nothing. Ooh, can I use is my 1 juice available for this, or is it just for the premonitions things? Play out the premonition.
You can actually, because of the premonition, you could basically consider it like I can see them coming kind of thing. And if you want to pump that juice in, I'll let you do that.
Yes.
Not normally how it
That's
works,
nice.
but I think that's totally valid.
Gotcha. Cool. All right, here we go. 10.
Nice. Very good. So a 10, yes, that's really good. That's a great success. So you can choose 2 of the following. You can achieve your goals. You can also get them good. So on your way across, you could counterattack them in some way using your power tag of 4, which is pretty damn good. You could also block or dodge or counter their attempt if they were actually physically in your way, which they're not yet. So
They're
if
not
you
yet.
wanted to yeah.
I'd like to wing him like a knee shot. Took him out in the knee.
Okay. Yeah.
As we rush for
No,
cover.
that's great.
Go for the knees.
Definitely.
For the weak.
So just describe to me what happens. You basically, it's almost as if you saw the entire fight play out and you know exactly what you need to do to get you and Katie to safety. So tell us what it looks like.
So we're in the premonition, and he sort of can see all these ghostly images all around as Katie sort of leads him through the vision, and cutting through it are these 2 figures. He sort of sees the mystical energy of Turner transforming, and without even thinking begins firing his gun back behind him as he pushes on, and then it's more like the guy runs into his bullets, and then they're in cover.
Nice.
Katie and Declan.
Love it. It was really cool. Very cool. Yeah. Katie, there's bullets flying everywhere. Just loud noises. Nancy hears gunfire. There's a tiger ahead of her.
Looks like you made him weak in the knees.
Ha! Yeah, so I think that I'm looking after the tiger, and I know that Turner and Declan wanted to approach these guys, and then I hear gunshots, and I'm just like, rolling my eyes back in my head, like, why is violence always the first solution? But because, like, at the very least, Katie, I know have worked with and really don't, like, I feel like there's a little bit of me that's like, I want to, like, make sure she's okay, like, protect her a little bit, because, like, things have been rougher for me in my life, and I don't, like, I want to prevent that from anyone else as much as I can. So I would like to, I think it would probably be change the game. What I want to do is I want to use secret paths and sneaky as a spider to get up behind the fella that has a gun out. Do both of them have a gun out? Or just the one?
Just the one. You won't see you won't see it until you get inside, but yeah, only one of them has it.
Okay, so the one that has the gun out, I'll like, I want to use secret paths and sneaky as a spider to get up behind him without him being able to notice me. And I don't actually have like a gun, but I want to like put like my 2 fingers like in his back, like, and pretend that I have one, and just be like, stop right there, and like maybe use I don't know if this is 2 moves or 1. Like the one might be sneak around and then change the game to like get him to like believe that I'm threatening with my fingers.
Yeah. So here's what I'll say: if you roll at a 10, you can not just sneak around, but you can also achieve that goal of getting in behind him and making him feel like you have a gun to his back.
So sneak around would be the one that I'd want to roll. Okay. All right.
Correct.
I'll do that.
Yes.
So I'm rolling sneak around. I'm going to use my secret paths. I'm going to use sneaky as a spider. And I don't think that there's anything else. Cover my tracks, I think I'll use too. So that's plus 3.
Okay. Perfect.
And hope for a good roll. That's not that great.
Not great at all.
I got a 6.
It is a fail.
Mother of God.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not thinking at all. I'm so distracted.
The tiger is throwing you off your game, man.
Yeah, I just missed that tiger already.
Yeah. I would probably say as you are about to kind of take this on to go back, the tiger snaps immediately out of its trance, essentially.
The fail is that the tiger is no longer my friend.
The tiger notices you. Yeah. And he kind of turns back around, and the growling noise, and he starts looking at you, showing. So that's how we'll resolve that particular thing. So you're confronted now with a tiger that is not happy anymore.
Yep. Okay. I think that there's like she turns around like to move, and then she hears that growl, and like you can see her face go like, oh right, there was a wild cat. And then she turns to look at the tiger, and she's just like, nice kitty. And like backs up into the stands a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. In that case, what we'll do here is Katie, if you want, you have a moment to act. You've just gotten pulled behind cover. If there's anything that you wanted to do.
Okay. I have an idea. Might be a risky business, but I'm gonna try. So I think I want to try to intimidate them by making an arrest. So, like, they pulled out a gun and shot somebody. I'm a police officer. So what I think I want to do is use a power tag private eye to maybe be like, I know exactly who you are, like I know, and maybe like make them think that like I have tabs on them, that I already know about who they are, what they're pulling, and then use power tag the badge to, you know, arrest them and like intimidate them to think they're in trouble with law enforcement, which, you know, they are. Yeah. And then the last one I have is partner in crime. So kind of like uniting the front here as if like I'm calling in backup, and we're gonna like take them down.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Everybody hold your breath.
Are you basically trying to hit with all you've got in this case?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to hold their attention is what my interpretation of what you're saying is. So is that the correct interpretation?
Yeah, I would say so. Like trying to make they can't focus on anything else because they're overwhelmed with the fact that they're going to jail, bitch.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, yes. So hit with all you've got. Same thing, roll plus power, and then you are going to get a -2 because these people, they have a status of hard to figure out. So whatever you're rolling, -2.
Okay, well here's I have a proposition.
Oh,
I already rolled it by accident. I didn't know we were gonna do that. So
That's
what if
okay.
we just do -2 to the 13?
that's fine.
I rolled it.
No, this is fine. This is -2, so it's an 11, which is still good. So you're fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're fine. No worries.
That is
Okay.
an
So I'm
excellent
at 11.
roll. Meanwhile, me and Will, horrible rolls.
I've been rolling shit the past few days.
I was just hoping you would maybe to do it again because I know if I rolled it again, it would be like a 1 probably.
Oh my goodness. No, you're fine. Don't worry. So at 11, you will absolutely hold the target's attention. You can also do any one of the other following things. You can try to take cover or secure a superior position. Since you're already in cover, if you wanted to move, you wouldn't be putting yourself in harm's way to do so. You could also do something else to give you an upper hand. So maybe you get next to some equipment or whatever you want to imagine exists in this area. You can narrate that and be like, oh, I find a beam or a pole that rigs up to a beam. Whatever you want to do here, you can do that. So obviously holding their attention, that's 100% confirmed. You just let me know if you want to do anything else in the area.
Okay, so I want to remain somewhat covered, so I'm not completely exposed because I do have a gun and I do not, unless I find one. Whoa. But something to the what you were saying at first, assert a position of superiority where it's kind of like, how do I describe this, where I know that I have them, so it's like, yes, they could shoot me, but that doesn't change the fact that backup is here and you're going to be arrested, kind of thing. So
Gotcha.
I guess maybe, okay, I have an idea. Maybe I could rig up something to be a makeshift shield, like the bottom of a seat, or something like that to hold it up to guard some of my body and get closer to them.
Sure.
I'm not afraid, but I don't want to get shot. That's my aesthetic right now.
That's probably a good one to have.
Literally same.
Yeah, so I'll pull out my badge and have this sort of makeshift shield and come closer to them and be like, don't make any sudden moves and don't come any closer. You're under arrest.
Okay. I am going to give them a status of a story. This is a story tag. Sorry, not a status. A story tag of, they're going to say caught. Mm-hmm. Just for my own clarity purposes. I'm just going to set it to caught 1. So the person that was previously wielding the gun kind of goes like that, and the other one stops and didn't have a weapon, but he stops moving and is now you have both of their attention. Meanwhile, Turner, you're now bleeding, right? Because you got a gunshot.
Yeah, I've just been shot through my vest, and I'm gonna swing my sword in towards his head and hit with all I've got in an attempt to decapitate this man.
Wonderful. That's exciting.
Yeah, so I transform into a weapon. I am destructive, tough as nails. I'm an expert killer. I think he sees me coming, so I'm not gonna use that one. Maybe my perfect timing, so I can time it so that his head connects with the blade. And then I'm exposed still. I'm out of cover, so I've got the 4.
Yeah. Roll it.
That's a 10.
Nice. Nice. Okay. 10. Hit with all you've got. So, I am going to let you narrate this. Tell me exactly. So, at this point, your timing is perfect because at that moment, the gun in the hand comes up right in line with the neck. So, what does it look like when you decapitate this person?
I swing with both hands, kind of looking tired of having been shot, and bring the weapon down upon his head, decapitates him, and I kick the rolling head. Should have had a tiger.
And I think you hear from like behind the stands, Nancy yelling like, "Are you gonna arrest this tiger?"
I pick up the gun
first-
that the guy drops, like as he flails to the floor. The gun goes flying, comes down, and lands right next to me.
Yes,
And,
as that happens, though, something strange is experienced when you decapitate this person.
Oh, good.
They are made of wires and metal cogs on the inside. They are not human at all. Sparks go flying as this automaton collapses to the ground and its head rolls. Maybe some oil spilled out.
Had a panic at the disco. And Sid, you have a wild magic surge from Israel.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh god. Okay.
My commands in Beam check, but a copy and paste up. That's fucking weird though.
Yeah.
I grab the gun and I move to assist the rest of the team with the last one, but that's my turn. Let's take Sid, your wild magic surge for 80 is you befriend a statue and carry it with you everywhere. Good.
Oh my god, is it this new like decapitated body?
That's probably the head.
My big
Probably the head.
Yeah, you can't hold a whole body around. That's a lot.
The head.
Heights.
The head's
Yeah,
good.
you feel very responsible and you feel like the need, impulse to get the head of this automaton.
Well, it could be like, like Katie is like a police officer, right? And like, you're not supposed to like harm people when they've surrendered. So like, it could be like, she wants to give this robot like an honorable burial or something because Turner just went and decapitated him during her arrest.
Okay.
That's how we're gonna weave this in.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Carrying around a robot head all the time.
Sounds good.
Guys,
Tiger time.
Anyone.
Tiger.
Good kitty. I don't wanna get eaten by a tiger.
Yeah. Do you want to try to like get away or what do you want to do? Because
I think what I'm gonna do here is like I've already tried to like magic the tiger to be my friendo, and it lasted for a little while, but I don't think that she thinks that that's like a thing to fall back on. She's feeling a bit more like panicky now. So I feel like this is I just want to get away. So would that be like not like necessarily sneakily? Maybe it's just like a face danger, but like avoiding it.
Yeah, you can either outright just try to get the heck out of there, which is going to be take a risk, or if you're trying to actually maneuver, it would be to face danger.
Yeah, I think she wants to maneuver to like back up toward her like party, because maybe the tiger will be less likely to try and eat her if there's 4 other people that have guns also. So yeah, like I think it's more maneuvering. So that's facing danger?
Yes.
Is that true?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, and I think I don't really know if I have anything that's specifically gonna like help me with this. Because it's like kind of acting against independent Yeah, I guess I'll just probably roll it.
Yeah, straight rolls are totally fine.
Okay. Well, hey,
Yeah.
got an 8.
All right. Yeah. So
Not the worst
on no, it's not, because you're only going to take a lesser status, so that's actually really good. So on a 7 and 9, you are going to manage to get out of there,
Okay.
but it is going to like try to swipe at you as part of that maneuver. Essentially, like you're noticing the behavior of the tiger now is officially changed. Like gunshots have gone off, which have agitated it. It's ready to like go back to its mission, and you can see as it's getting ready to leap in, and at the last moment you do duck out of there just in time, but it does graze the side of your leg. So just put grazed 1 as a status for yourself.
And where would I put statuses?
Just like on a notepad somewhere.
Okay, so there's
Or a
no
side
place
note?
for that on like. There's not a place for that on the character sheet.
Not on the character sheet. No, there are like status PDFs, but we don't. Yeah. So
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't supposed to go somewhere you could see, but I'll put it on my notes.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
All right. So that's at that point. I'm guessing you're reuniting with the rest of the group.
Yes, and there's
Once
still
you
a tiger.
escaped. Yes.
Don't worry. I can handle
Still
one tiger.
Yeah, so like I feel like maybe it got like some of her jeans are like you can see where they've been like scratched at while she like skirted the tiger, and there's like it's bleeding a little bit underneath, and she's like got her like hands up and like she's backing toward you guys, and she's like, guys, and then there's tiger.
Yes.
There's still one other of those goons, right?
Yes, actually what we're going to do is resolve the remainder of your premonitions. So as you guys were going through, you get one more flash, just a brief one, but enough to tell you there are more people on the way, and they're just like the one that Turner had just decapitated.
Fantastic.
More on the way.
Copy.
Plus Tiger.
Plus
Plus the tiger.
Katie, I think your first idea was a good one, and we should probably go. Yes, go. Yeah. Yep.
Oh Lord. Should we she's like still like holding the badge and the shield up at this other guy who's got his hands up, and she's like, should we do this one or just let him go? Turner,
Take care of him, Turner.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Where is the tiger in relation?
So if you imagine a circle and the stands around the edges with one large opening to where the tiger was, it's going back towards the middle center of that circle. You guys are on either side. Like, you know how stadium seating is where there's doors on like multiple sections, kind of like that. So you guys are like at one of the doors.
Like the way that the tiger was blocking earlier is now open. Like we could run through where it was blocking. Or okay,
you could.
That's where. Let's make for the gap that the tiger was blocking earlier.
Yeah,
and he'll just do whatever he needs to do to like cover their withdrawal.
Okay. So Turner, are you still taking care of that last person?
Yeah, probably the last guy. If the tiger isn't immediately a threat, then I'll take out the second guy. And in my mind's eye, I was behind him. I'm not sure if that was accurate.
Sure.
Because he was dealing with Declan. So I'm gonna come up behind him with the sword and try and run him through his like circuit board, like heart, whatever's running through there. So. Kind of good at killing people. Transformed weapon, destructive, tough as nails. Expert killer, can't see me coming. I'm still out of cover because I'm just running out into the open behind this guy.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and hit with all I've got.
Okay.
To murder
What if
him.
like this time it was like, this is a real person, blood goes everywhere, you just stabbed him like
one of my tags is I am emotionally impervious. So and I have no sympathy. So I probably wouldn't mind too much. He was a
Best
hitman.
tag ever.
Oh my god, one of
You
my
guys can
tags
blame
is
me.
in the
emotionally magnificent would have been my choice, but 15
Sorry.
on the it's all good. 15 on the hit before you go.
Okay, so on a 10 plus, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I would make a comment here as MC. I would highly recommend that you control collateral damage, because you've got 4 more of them coming at you from where basically it was facing where they're coming in from. So you're behind the one that you're just killing, essentially, and there's 4 more coming towards you. And you can already tell that your weapon, while it won't actually succumb to the heat, you can feel it heating up from whatever's happening, the circuits or whatever's getting fried on the inside of this automaton.
Right.
And
yeah, as I run him through, I feel like the power core overloading or whatever with the force of the weapon. I'm going to push the body back and run backwards to join the crew to avoid the 4 guys that are coming my way.
Sounds great. While you guys are running, Tiger kind of off to the side, but you all hear an explosion, followed by another explosion that happens in this particular tent, where Turner had just done this sword maneuver on the automaton as it kind of launches forward to the other 4 that are there, and they all explode, and there's a little bit of a chain reaction. The other explosion, however, you heard a little bit farther away in the fairgrounds, not where you guys are. And you are all kind of on your way out of this particular tent, and you are now kind of out in the open, back on the fairgrounds. It's still very late at night. It's fairly dark. There's not a lot of things lit. Like, there's probably power to the fairgrounds, but it's not been turned on. And so you guys are there amongst a variety of broken down machinery, old tents and food stalls and all of that.
Well, we need to keep moving, otherwise they'll catch up with us.
Lost him for a little bit. Didn't manage to kill the tiger. I'm sorry.
Katie has like a head just with her, just like carrying it with her like a purse, and just like, I just feel so bad that we had to kill them during an arrest. We know that's so dishonorable.
I think
Machine.
But I don't know if it
Also
still
that-
had feelings or not. I haven't really encountered anything like this before.
I think while like Katie's having an emotional moment carrying a robot head, Nancy's gonna like try and find the like best way out, or like, because they came here to investigate Ellie's husband, right? Is there like
Yes.
any kind of like we're here for a job, so
Yes.
I want to both like, I think that the first task would be to like try and get the whole group of us away from the tiger and the explosions and the dead automatons, and maybe that's a sneak, and like then after that I think some investigation is in order, but first like getting away. And I think that she's kind of like not engaging with them, and she's not really like talking with them. She's just like probably like going in a direction, or like doing a little bit of like shh and like pushing, you know, like we're going this way now.
Totally. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's just sneak around.
Oh, you don't need to roll that. You guys can narratively.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You
Okay.
guys can,
Yeah. So yeah, she's it's kind of odd because I feel like this is a little bit of her like she's using a little bit of her like instinctive her mythos, in that like she'll be like, we go behind this tent thing and then around this thing, and then we go behind something that you're sure that we've gone behind again, but it takes us to a totally different place. And like that's the way that she's like getting us out of trouble. And then like there's a moment where she is like puts her head to like one of the buildings that's empty to like listen to something, and then she's like, okay, I think we're out of that mess now. we came here to find something entirely unrelated to a tiger and some robots. Is that still our task, or?
I mean,
I don't see my mission having changed.
Well, maybe
this
they're not
figure can
completely
also
unrelated.
disappear.
Tigers rarely change my plans.
Well, that's great, Turner. But what I'm trying to say is that maybe if this is where we were sent, and these are the type of creatures that we're encountering, then maybe they're all connected somehow.
It's possible.
Probably so. Something's out to get us, at least.
I think that I pull out like my phone or like whatever, and I'd like to. Nancy has like I think I put it in my Google Drive or whatever, but her like all the wisdom sealed in a jar thing is that she has like a forum that she goes to that she runs that has like a bunch of random info, and I'd like to like consult that, which is it's technically like her power that controls it and gets people to like dump their information on there, but it's also like very like modern magic. So I think that she's going to use that to either like investigate or like use her power to get information. I think it's more like she's investigating incorporating her power and less like it's like change the game.
Right.
Okay, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll roll investigate with the wisdom modifier, investigator modifier, nosy as all hell modifier, and yeah, so +3.
Okay. Nice.
Oh,
good
10.
roll.
My first full success.
Yeah, that's really good. Really good. So you have 4 questions because you got the initial 3, and then it's 10 or more. I give you an extra. So 4 questions. You can ask anything that you would have realistic access to.
Right.
Yes.
So I think that the questions she's asking is like she wants to know, like she probably put out feelers for stuff about this woman's husband. So she's checking all of the like stuff that's come back to see if there's anything that relates him to like any kind of like technology company where they might have these sort of automatons, like if there's anything that connects those 2 things together.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. So the initial information you get is first of all, obviously that things you already know, which I will say out loud now so that we can all be on the same page, is that her husband, Paul, he owns a construction company. What you didn't know, and the wife also didn't know, is that he was actually recently hired to do the work on this fairground. He was hired to help renovate it so it would be usable again.
So that connects into this area.
Yes. So that is something that wasn't known before, but eventually you were able to glean from that. So that's from that perspective. What else? What other questions do we have for that?
I think the second question, like when she gets like a reason why like he would be tied to this area, I think she wants to like search for anything that this, like why did this fairground close down, or like what's the history here? Are there any news articles that have been written about like this place that would like come up on a quick search, you know?
Yeah. So the immediate stuff you get is for a long time this fairground was actually open and did relatively well until there was an accident that basically bankrupted the company that ran the fairground, and they couldn't like afford to keep it open and also pay the settlement for somebody who a kid got hurt on one of the rides, and there was this whole thing, and so the city basically forced them to close it down in order to settle with the family that was affected by the incident. Other than that, it's transferred owners a few times, and then it kind of just, nothing happened. The last person, it appears from what you can find, to be some kind of a shell company. It would take you a little bit longer to dig for, like, who does it actually belong to?
Right. Okay. Like that makes sense. I would want to look for like any kind of because you said that they were hired to do construction on this fairground. Like where on this, like if I pull up a map of the fairground, like where would that like have started, where we might find some clues as to like actually like about her husband?
So the location that probably, or what is most likely to have been used to start the construction, would have been in a more open area where they were able to set up the actual the mobile
Equipment.
units, all of that, so that they would have an office space to use, as well as like getting through everything and bringing that equipment in. So that's a little bit farther down the way. It's not where you guys are kind of closer to the middle almost. So you'd have to go a little bit farther north to get to where he is most likely to have started his construction off.
And is there any questions anyone else thinks could come up vis-a-vis like this forum related to this guy or this area that they want to ask?
Does he have any enemies or people that might have like?
Oh yeah, like in the like sending out feelers. Was there anyone in particular that like they know has like a vendetta against this guy? Paul.
Yes, actually. So you actually know on the forums there was people who like to gossip, so to speak, and there was rumor that a man by the name of David was hitting on Paul's wife. And there was a big public tiff in one of the diners that many of you actually have been by before. And you notice that people were talking about somebody else stepping in, like another woman, and she was observing, and there was like this confrontation that happened in the diner. And there was no note of who the other woman was. Nobody could figure. That was why it was posted. It was like, "Hey, do you know who this person is?" kind of thing.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So like, I pull out my phone. I'm doing some quick like swiping and like looking through things, and like it's lighting up her face, and like for a moment, like no matter what y'all are doing, she's completely absorbed. And then just as soon as she like pulled it out, she like puts it away again, and she's like, this way. And she's basically just like, she has information, and like if one of you were to ask like, so like what did you bring up, like she'll tell you. But if no one asks, she's just like, this is what we're doing, because she usually works like by herself. So
I feel like Katie is like the one who's trying to mediate and be like, she does this all the time, just trust her and go faster, she's very fast, keep running.
She definitely walks like very quickly, you know, like very like, this is the way, I know what
Would
we're
you find
doing.
out? So like Declan would ask, he definitely would be like,
and she would basically say, this man Paul, he was hired to do construction here. They were set up in this direction. Gonna go check and see if there's any clues over there.
And there's this
On
altercation.
record as owning a tiger.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily something that's valid, like right here. She would probably like bring that up when we like get off of this location, but I think like right at the moment, like it's just like, this is what's like important to know right now, right here, right now. Everything else is something we can investigate when we leave, like go somewhere else.
For me to know right now, for personal reasons, I want to know if I could get a tiger.
I don't think it has anything to do with the tiger. I think the tiger just lives here. Seems strange that they wouldn't get all of those, you know, zoo type pets off the location. Did they just like starve it? And she like kind of goes into like this like series of like just talking to herself about why there could be a tiger left here, kind of.
Well, if no one was here to feed it, then maybe it didn't need to eat.
There are also robot people, so what if the tiger is a robot tiger?
That's possible.
You know, I didn't think
That's what I
about
was
that.
trying to continue. Yeah.
And she looks at the head that Katie is carrying, and she's like, those are some very advanced animatronics for a place that looks as worn out as this. I don't know if those were fairground type
Well,
people.
maybe we should ask what type of construction Paul was actually doing. Maybe
Right.
it wasn't as basic as we
Robot construction.
thought.
I
No, that's
mean,
what I was trying to say. Turn it down. Okay.
Could be robots.
Could be robots.
Either way, the offices should have some more information for us, because I'm assuming that's we're all like walking toward
Yeah.
across the fairgrounds.
Yeah, we're going
with you leading us,
north.
Nancy.
Get there, yeah. So unless there's something in the way, yeah, that's where we're headed to.
No, nothing in the way. It's surprisingly quiet after all the explosions that happened earlier.
Who knows what that was about?
Yeah, so there was one in the tent with us, and then you said there was another outside as well.
Yeah, it was farther away.
Is there any like smoke or something obscuring the stars or anything like that as we're walking through the fairground? Like, we
You
tell
can
where
definitely
it
see
came
smoke from the distance. Yeah, like the aftermath of an explosion. Definitely.
nearby in the fairgrounds themselves, or like in a neighborhood nearby?
No, in the fairgrounds. This is actually one of the when it was still in its prime time. This was a massive fairground. They were able to like bring in traveling circuses and all sorts of stuff. So yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know. Someone else is here though. Should be on the lookout. And he'll just kind of keep his eye in that direction while we're headed towards this other place.
Okay. Sounds
I'm
good.
worried because it seems like whoever else is here knows that we are too. And they definitely don't want us here.
No. Just stay on the move. We'll deal with anything they throw at us.
I'm worried because they have robots and possibly robot tigers.
Well, we
Problem,
said
Turner?
already that they sent the tiger to come kill us. Turner, we're already there.
Saying concerning.
Noteworthy.
I feel like we really breezed over
Observation.
the robots.
Curious about this tiger being a potential robot. It's possible that Paul is funding this.
Robot.
Perhaps he's
Oh. Could also be a robot.
he could be a robot as well.
I mean, I don't know what kind of circles y'all run in, but I don't really find that most people are robots. So, I mean, this guy had a wife. I think she would have known if he was a robot. I don't think that's really the issue here.
How many people have you checked that you can say are definitely not robots?
Come on now.
Is this really the debate we need to be having right now? Of which one of us are or which one of us is not robots?
I think it's pertinent.
Well, Turner, are you a robot?
Don't know.
Do you want
I
to
think
find
we
out
know.
right now, or do you think maybe we can postpone that until we get to where we're going? And then we can cut your head off and look inside and see if you're a robot or not.
I mean, you seem
Okay.
emotionally impervious, so that's
It's true.
pro column.
Pro
My many
robot.
times.
I'm not having this conversation. Can we just, like, quietly, without any robot speculation, get to where we're going so we can do the investigating and then
It
leave?
seems unlikely.
Okay. And I agree with what Nancy's saying, and I think that it's time to put this conversation on hold. Turner, I promise you that later, if you want to so bad, I will personally cut your own head off and we can look inside of it and then figure it out. I will do that for you as a friend.
Okay. Glad we could clear that up.
Great. Let's go.
Okay. It doesn't take much time, but it's farther than you all thought. Nancy was expecting it, but you guys not so much. The trek across the fairgrounds to get to where Paul had set up the construction, and lo and behold, there it is. There is like a chain link fence around it security, safety permit and all that crap. But you guys can go in. It's unlocked, surprisingly enough. And you get into where the kind of mobile unit is, and that door is closed. Not locked or unlocked, you don't know yet, but it's closed. So.
And I think like as soon as I see a closed door or like anything in the way, I like turn and I like put my hand in front of Turner's chest and I'm like, you don't need a sword. It's just a door.
I've never attacked a door in my life.
I'm sure.
Glass panels are different though. That's a different story. I don't want to talk about it right now.
And then I turn to the door and I'm just gonna like quietly like, or the gate or whatever it is, just quietly just like check and see if it's locked or not before any kind of sorting or gunning.
Yeah, so you guys already went past the chain link, or are you testing the door or the gate on the chain link right now?
If it's the first obstacle is the chain link, then that's the like first thing that I'm like, you know, testing
that's
gate.
the part that was unlocked. Yeah, that was unlocked. Yeah. The mobile unit is you go to move the handle and it opens.
And I think like she's being like super quiet and like trying not to like rattle the chain link. And then when they get to like the office area, she's trying really hard not to like make any like creaking noise as she just like turns the handle and then like slowly like pushes it in. And before she like opens the door all the way, she turns back and she's like, like really quietly, and then like so everyone is aware, and then like she like slowly pushes it. And is there any light coming from in there, or like she's trying to make sure that it's not like if someone were in there, she's not just like whipping the door open like, hey everybody. It's like a very much like peeking through, you know.
Yeah, it's as dark as it is inside is as dark as it is outside. There's no light at all. It's probably actually slightly lighter outside given the moon and stars. Yeah, it's very dark.
Okay. So yeah, she'd push the door open and like do some reconnaissance inside of this place. And I'm assuming because Katie's also an investigator that she'd probably be helping.
Yeah, I'll follow behind. Like she would like recognize that you're sort of like leading this stake, so you know, follow your lead and you know, take instructions and things.
Yeah, and we'll be like, I'll look on the desk and you look on this like shelf or whatever. Like if you could just like say what we see on the inside or whatever.
Yes, absolutely. I want to see real quick if anybody else is doing anything, or are you guys like standing guard perimeter, or
Declan will be at the door. Does it have like a window or something on it, like I'm like this one of those trailers with like the little wooden or cinder block steps that lead up, and yeah, he'll stand guard at the door and just keep an eye out to see if anyone followed us or anything like that.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. What about Turner?
Turner's keeping an eye on the perimeter as well, probably with Declan. And eyeing everyone suspiciously to see if they do anything robotic.
Even yourself.
Fantastic.
Even myself.
Fantastic. Good. All right, sounds good. So you, Nancy and Katie, you both kind of walk in the immediate area. I'm just going to assume you have flashlights because you're actually prepared investigators. So unless you say, nope, I forgot it, I'm going to assume you have it. So, you know, you kind of look around, gleaning some light. As you walk kind of across, it's a fairly long trailer. So as you walk kind of across, you can see one area that's got like a very makeshift counter that's got a coffee maker on it, like one of those really cheap ones. The glass there is gross and like stains, obviously been used on multiple jobs before. And Nancy, as you're walking back towards where the like desks set up and stuff, you notice that there's a shoe on the ground and then another shoe, and it looks like maybe somebody's feet are there that are kind of fallen behind the desk.
Okay, and I think that as soon as I see that, like, this is not just someone left their clothes, it's actually like a person, I'm gonna like rush forward and like check and see if there's any kind of like I'm gonna see if they're still alive or like totally dead, if there's any way I can help, if they are alive, if it's like an emergency thing or like already too late thing, you know.
Okay. Yeah. So you rush forward, and as soon as you turn, like to get that initial vision, as you look down, the person there is actually dead. It's been shot through the head, between the eyes.
Can I identify them?
Yes, because you received a picture of this particular individual from his wife.
Is it Paul?
Yeah.
Nice. Good. And I think that I like turn go around the desk, see Paul like obviously very dead, like shot in the face, and like she like slumps over and like puts one of her like hands on the desk, and she's like, Katie, I think that we've found the missing husband. And like she looks just like totally like great. This is great. Excellent.
And Katie turns around. Katie was probably like climbing onto something, trying to see the top of a shelf or something, and turns around and said, "Oh, don't say it like that. I know what that tone means. He's not."
Yeah, well, you should call your and because Nancy's not a police officer, she's a private investigator. So like she's like, you call your people the official type people. Like this is a official type job.
Yeah, Katie comes over just to like examine it for herself, and it's very hard for her to look at. Katie, like one of her tags is sympathetic. Like this is like really rough on her. So she kind of feels like she failed because this is like her job. So she like takes a moment to just like gather her thoughts and puts her face in her hands and is just like, okay, I'm just gonna go make the.
I won't touch anything. And like as soon as you leave, I'm like ruffling through this guy's coat and like looking for any kind of like identifying stuff. Like, yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna touch anything. This is official crime scene now. And then the second you step out, I'm just like, I'm gonna touch everything. Like, I need to get my info.
So like Katie walks out, and if Turner and Declan are like guarding the door, you can see an obvious shift in her demeanor and her stance and her mood. And she's like, we found Paul in there. He's
Tango down.
He was killed. Someone shot him.
How did he die?
There's a bullet wound in his head. I didn't examine it too closely. Nancy's taking all the details. I have to go make a call. So, if anybody needs me in the next couple of minutes, I'll be over here.
All right.
And she's just making the necessary arrangements and things like that.
Yeah, we'll come to that in just a second as you're making the call. There's a thing I want you to do, but Nancy, you're rummaging through things. Declan and Turner, do you guys go inside, or are you still staying outside?
Go check it out, Turner. Be right back. And then Declan will go join Nancy and just to see.
Okay. Just make sure that she's not alone, probably.
This doesn't interest Turner too much. He's more worried about any more robots sneaking up on us.
All the robots.
Any details about who did this, Nancy?
And like as soon as she hears you, like her shoulders tense a little bit because she was totally just like trying to like steal shit off of this dead guy. But like she like
Declan doesn't give care.
And so she like looks over your shoulder and like pauses in the middle of what she's doing, and she's like, and like when you aren't like, how dare you? We should wait for the police. She's like,
Find anything interesting?
Well, he was shot in the face, and then like what else have I like gathered off of this corpsicle?
You can tell that he's been here for a while. As far as like corpses go, he's not warm, to say the very least. It's like you're going through his pockets. He's not like a fresh body. But he was definitely killed here. There's a pool of blood where that gunshot wound is, where his head kind of hit the ground. You know, blood spatter, you know, just behind where he was standing. But other than that, there's no sign of really anything on him specifically that would like indicate anything special. But if you guys had like if you wanted to do any medicals, I don't know how much, if you guys have any medical backgrounds or anatomical or anything along those lines.
Not
yeah,
myself.
I'm not looking for like medical stuff. I'm more like, does he have any things on his body? Like, is his wallet here? Does it have money in it? If he does have money, I'm taking the money.
Take the money.
Is there a computer?
Yes.
Is there any
can
kind of
absolutely-
like notes that he has in his pockets or receipts? Or like that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I don't like medically, I don't care. Like that's not my job.
Okay. So yes, he has his wallet. Yes, there is cash inside. Yes, there are receipts from various restaurants, gas station, etc.
Okay, so yeah, I take the cash. I probably like look over the receipts, like make any notes of like places that aren't just like normal, like everyone goes to like a gas station, you know, I'm not super worried about it. But if there's a place like he might have like several receipts from this place, like I'll mark it down to like take a look at. And we can just like, you can tell me about like that later. I don't really care about it on the spot. But like if there was and then like I'll put the receipts back after I like take a look at them, and then like okay set that back. Oh, and before she like touched all his shit, she probably put on some gloves. I'm just like she's not an idiot. She doesn't want her fingerprints all over this dead body. Sorry, like as a matter of course. She put on some gloves before she rifled through all this stuff.
Of course. Okay.
And so like that's kind of the thing that she's looking for. And so like she'll pocket the cash and then like put back the receipts after she like takes a note of anything that would benefit her personal investigation about this guy.
Okay.
And then probably also like mention to Declan, like, looks like this guy went to that diner a lot. And he was shot in the head. I don't really have too much more to go on. I'm assuming the crime scene investigators will be able to tell you like DNA sort of things. That's not really how I work.
That's all right. I don't have time to wait on them. So Declan knows a great deal, or at least I'm assuming he's got business connections as a power tag here. Maybe he might have heard a rumor or something through the various wealthy people that he sells his ill-gotten goods to, that maybe this altercation at a diner or something. I'm not sure what I would roll for that, but I was hoping you might have a clue.
You would roll and investigate to get like some kind of a recall to that. I'm trying to think. If you want, you can roll it. You would be basically using your recalled knowledge of interactions that you had.
Okay.
To see if there's connections that you can make between your previous dealings and either, I'm guessing, the fairgrounds, this guy, or the people or the person he had an altercation with before at the diner, right?
Yeah. Okay. Some sort of lead on maybe who our antagonist is. So I just have one power tag here for business connections. None of the others seem like they'd be a good fit. So I'm just gonna roll with the one.
Okay.
Big money. 11.
That's a really good roll. Cool. So you'll have two questions that you can ask me, and I have to just give you solid leads for them. So as long as they're within the scope that we just talked about, go ahead and ask me specific questions.
So, Declan wants to know who the man and woman were that Paul had the confrontation with in the diner. That's at least one. And I don't know, maybe Nancy has a question. Blue Jay?
What was this pertaining to, like, specifically? Like, what are you using as far as the scope?
I'm using Declan's business connections to or his power tag there to see if maybe there's someone
I would say
might
business connections questions would be like who like the shell company that owns, like, who hired this construction company, like, because that would probably be like a business connection that you could use to help with this specific instance.
Good call. Yeah, so those are two. Who the man and the woman were. I don't know if that counts as like one, and then the shell company that hired Paul's construction company. They are.
Yeah. So the man and woman that the people that had the altercation. This is the knowledge that you already have, so it doesn't count as a question. But it was based on.
I mean, we didn't know the woman.
No, Nancy didn't tell anybody that she knows that. Never mind.
I didn't think that it was valid, but if it comes up on the receipts, like he went to this place, I would, while Declan's there, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is the place where he had an argument with, and then he'd be like, what argument? I'd be like, oh yeah, I didn't say anything about that.
Yeah, imagine that.
This argument.
Yeah. Right. Yes, the diner is the same diner that you got on the forums with the altercation.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. So like that.
So yeah,
he would then, like, it would come up. I wouldn't just hide it. I'd be like, oh yes, this diner, and he'd be like, wait, what diner? And I'd be like, oh, he had a fight at a diner. It's fine. Yes.
So then
I'm not sure about the lady, but named David.
Yeah. So for clarity's sake, Paul Woodworth, which is the construction company, Woodworth Construction, the owner of the construction company, and his wife Ellie are the ones that are seen in the diner that are arguing with a man who is later identified as David from the information that Nancy got. When she mentions that, Declan, you are like David, as in David Wen, the CEO of Orimaka Industries, which is the company that Turner works for.
Right. Arguing with CEO of Orimaka. Wonder if that's the shell company connected to it that hired them to rebuild this place. What are they doing here?
Yeah, so for the second question, is he able to garner what company it was that hired Paul to be here, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so after doing some searching in his mind, I guess, he believes that this shell company
in his office, yeah.
The unfortunate thing is the paperwork that you guys will find here isn't going to give you a real answer as to who the real proprietor is. It'll just continue falling back to the shell company. But from your own conclusions, Declan, you can draw that it's not actually a company that hired. It was one person.
One person.
One particular person. You can't figure out who it is from the resources you have here yet.
There's always a shadowy figure somewhere that's behind all these things. Perhaps that explosion might reveal more information for us. We should get out of here before the cops come, Nancy.
Why? Declan. I'm a witness. I just found the body.
Ask too many questions. And Declan makes to leave.
Perfect timing. As Katie, you were making your phone call. We're going a little backward in time for a second, but you were making your phone call while Nancy and Declan were inside of the trailer there going over whatever they were going over, you don't know. And you hear footsteps in kind of the darkness as you're making the call, and out steps a woman that you recognize as Ellie. And she kind of looks at you, but very strangely, in fact, she has something in her hands.
Oh my god.
No, it's not the gun. It's not a gun. However, it does, what is it called? Oh my god, my brain is dead. Iron bar. That's what I'm thinking of. It's got iron bar. Yeah. And she has that, and she's looking at you. But she doesn't really look like herself.
Oh, okay. So, like, as Katie was, like, dialing maybe the, like, number for her supervisor that, you know, vetoed this case or something to be like, yeah, what's up, he's got shot. She sees Ellie and, like, has her phone in her hand and, like, almost drops it, but doesn't complete the call and just puts it in her back pocket and comes up to Ellie. And first of all, just says, what are you doing here? You hired us for a reason. This is so dangerous. What are you doing?
What do you mean? I didn't hire you.
Look, naively thinks maybe it's too dark for her to tell who she is, and she comes closer, and she's like, Miss Ellie, it's me, Katie. You hired me and my friend Nancy to go check out your husband?
My husband's dead.
Well, ma'am, I'm so sorry that's true. You must have discovered the body before we were able to give you the news. I'm so sorry, but forgive me. I'm kind of confused. I don't mean to trouble you in a tragic time, but I don't know what you mean by saying that you didn't hire us. We're here to help you.
Well, everything's fine now.
But Ellie, you just said your husband is dead. You don't want to find out who or why or how. Now this is a crime scene.
Well, you know, I don't think it's that bad. You know, because I took care of who did it.
Oh, okay. So, like...
Am I around like, when I'm outside the door at this point?
You can see this, yeah.
Yeah, Katie, like, completely freezes. And maybe she's... Yeah, she could be giving, like, signals, like, behind her back. Like, maybe her hand is still in her back pocket from putting her phone away, and she's trying to motion for someone to come over. And she's, like... She's going to very cautiously... let's see. I want to try and take the weapon from her, but like in like a calm way. So I think what I want to do, I don't know if I need to roll for this necessarily, but what I want to do is try to be like, all right, well, that's fine. Then I'm glad you were able to take care of this by yourself and seek the justice that you wanted, but for our records, we might need to take a couple of samples and maybe ask you to come down just to answer a couple of questions because we've been kept in the dark here. So maybe if I could just and
question:
she, like,
are you a robot?
Not right now. This woman just lost her husband, and she extends her hands out like open for her to place the crowbar into them, and kind of lets her decide how to react. Okay.
I would like for you to face danger, to endure physical harm, or to avoid it. Preferably avoid it. Sid.
Yeah, I'd like to avoid it.
She's a Decepticon.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and use, let's see, I've got the tag sympathetic, so maybe she can, like, see that I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm trying to, like, level with her.
This is gonna be you reacting in time to avoid the incoming danger, so...
Okay, so I don't add tags.
No, you do, but if you're talking about sympathetic, I think that would actually be more of a weakness in this case, because you wouldn't expect her to
I see what you're saying.
Like,
oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah. I'm there. I'm here. Okay, so... I have one that's called on full alert. So, like, you know, kind of like, you know, ready for any sort of shebang. And I have one called Catch Me If You Can. So it's like able to dodge, able to run, able to get out of sticky situations.
Perfect.
So yeah, I think those seem to be the ones that fit here.
Okay.
Oh Lord. Okay. I'm just scared. Just okay. I'm coming.
Okay, good. Yeah, 8 is good. 8 is good. Yeah, so she goes to place the iron bar in your hands, but at the last second drops it instead and grabs you by both your shoulders. So she goes, and I'm gonna give Turner opportunity here. She goes to grab you, and she appears to be pulling you closer. Turner, given your previous question and situation, I don't imagine you're very lenient, so feel free to make an action here.
I have no sympathy, and I am impervious to emotion. So, I see her reaching towards her iron crowbar, and she looks kind of crazy. So he's gonna punch her, kind of just like a stun to the face, sort of like get out of her space type deal as she grabs her around the shoulders. It's not a killing blow; it's more like a stunning sort of Turner, at least.
Okay.
Kind of thing, because he thinks she's a robot. In fact, he's convinced himself that she is a robot. And he's gonna do so with it's a punch with like the hilt of the sword, which materializes. So she's getting punched by a bunch of steel. So transform into weapon, destructive, tough as nails. She sees me coming, but I am an expert killer. That probably helps me out in such a moment. And I think I'm not even out of cover because I think Katie's in front of me, so I'm kind of covered behind her. So I think I can use those 4.
Okay. Do you want to do a hit with all you've got or take a risk?
I mean, Will probably thinks take a risk, but I think Turner probably thinks just hit with what we've got. So he's just going to seize this woman with a crowbar coming towards her, who he's overheard snippets of this conversation. He's convinced that everyone's a robot, and that this girl has maybe murdered her husband, and he's not the smartest cookie, and he's gonna try and kill her. Well, not kill her, but you know what I mean.
I mean, at this point, it seems like you are trying to kill her.
If she dies, she dies. Random answer, it's all right. It's a 9.
Okay, a 9. Let's see. You can get them good if you'd like, or gain the upper hand. So one, you can achieve your goal of punching them, or the other one, you would be able to essentially separate Katie from Ellie.
I think that's what it is. He hits her with the butt of the sword, which then dematerializes, and he's going to kind of tackle her to the ground, so that he's on top of her and away from Katie.
Fantastic! That's exciting. Go ahead and face danger.
Okay. Is it physical harm again?
Yeah, I'm gonna narrate this beautifully in a second.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
It's about to be beautiful. Don't worry. I am indestructible. Tough as nails. And I can transform into armor, so I think this like suit of armor comes up like a fucking robot. As I turn into a transformer.
Yes.
And that's probably it. All right. That is a 9 again.
Good. All right. So you're going to. So here is what the sequence of events that happens essentially as you go to separate Katie and Ellie. You tackle her to the ground, and instead of getting like upset about it, she looks up at you and she tries to kiss you, and you notice that there is something very strange on her lips. And as you do that, I guess I would say the armor almost like sets up like some kind of a sheath around the bottom of your face.
My mouth is definitely sheathed.
Sheathed. And
100% sheathed.
And she goes to do that, but instead she doesn't get to your lips, essentially. And you can see that like there's a magical element here, where you feel like had it been a second too late, that you would either be dead or on your way to dead.
There's a moment of like,
What the hell? Just no. What?
I look back to Katie.
Did she try to kiss you too?
Katie is
They
like,
both don't try to kiss me.
yeah, she's like picking up the crowbar and she's like, what? No, she didn't try to kiss me. Turner, what are you talking about?
She just tried to kiss me with her poison robot lips. I don't
Katie
like
will
it.
start to. Oh my god. Katie will start to walk over to like look over and be like, Turner, what are you? Poison robot lips.
I like point to my
bending over.
sheath. I point to my mouth sheath, which is like it's like a mouth guard with like lipstick on it, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like lipstick on my fucking like helmet guard thing that's going on there.
Look, she tried to kiss my sheath. Wasn't having any of it. Would have killed me.
So I assume by this point, whatever Declan and I were doing inside, we're
Yes.
done with. And so
Yes.
I'm like, Declan was going to head out, and like I'm probably following behind to like just like, and then we like get to the doorway, and there's Ellie trying to. Does she still have the crowbar or no?
No, she had dropped it. Katie picked it up.
And Katie got it.
Yeah, but
Turner's
Ellie's now on the
actually
ground
fine.
with Turner on top of her.
She's on the ground, and so I think that like I don't have any like what reason to suspect her, but I think that I go and I'm like, Turner, what are you doing? This is the person who hired us. Why are
She's
you
a
tackling her?
Decepticon. She tried to kiss me
A what?
with her poison robot lips. It's a type of
Not
robot.
everyone
I've
is a
seen Transformers.
robot, Turner,
This movie's
and
a
I
great
think that
Shia
I'm
LaBeouf
going
is
up.
the hero.
I'm going
Yeah,
up
like,
to,
Katie-
to them, and I'm trying to like be like, get off of her. Like, I am so sorry. Like, because this is the person that's like bankrolling this, right? So,
Yeah, so like, Katie's trying to explain, and she's like, Turner, please don't be the one to try to explain this right now. Nancy, this is either not Ellie or something's wrong with her, and she doesn't even remember hiring us at all, and she knows who killed her husband, and she's already
wait, not
taken care of
hiring
them.
us. You know, I don't work for no pay. Like, she's just trying to weasel out of paying us, and like, I'm
Clients
like,
always try.
She tried to kiss me as payment, maybe. I have very supple lips.
Turner. No, that's not.
Very,
And
very
like,
supple.
is Ellie like? Is she like? Is Turner still holding her down?
I'm guessing.
I think at this point, like, if there's other people around, I'm gonna like back off her and like stay away from her. Like,
Don't kiss me, lady.
So yeah, like I think I'd like try and help her up, and then like, because Katie said that she's not like herself. Like, I guess I would. Yeah, I'd be like, "What are you doing here? And what do you mean you took care of it?" That's
Everything's all right.
no.
How
It's
is it all right?
I look towards the others and I'm like,
See?
Everything's fine.
Ellie, I don't understand why you would hire someone to take care of this and then go searching for it yourself and to do whatever it is that you did and then
Classic
to
Decepticon.
try and
way.
hurt the people that we're here with.
But I've always been here.
You guys seen Blade Runner?
I think that like I'm gonna
I've seen
basically
it.
like try and ask. I'm gonna try and ask Ellie a bunch of questions, but the goal is to like get her to like reveal to us like that she's not like who she says she is, or like I'm basically gonna be like, wait a second, so you were here the other time, right? Or like, remember when we said this thing? Tell me about like what happened. Like just like asking her a bunch of questions to basically try and get to the truth of the matter in terms of like, is she or is she not the same person that we talked to before that hired us. Because, like, she could be that person but changed somehow, or she could just be someone that has the appearance of that person. And that's, like, the kind of, like, differentiation I'm trying to make with this, like, smooth talking, I guess.
Okay. You can either roll investigate to be able to ask those questions, or try to change the game in some way to get more specific information, I guess.
I think this is very, like, this is investigate. This is her, like, doing her job. So yeah, investigator, get the dirt, nosy as all hell, and also like smooth talker, I think. So 2d6 plus 4.
Yeah.
That. Dang, come on, please. Big money, no whammy. Oh, whammies.
Sam, somebody's fine. So, yep, 4 questions.
3 for 7, right?
No, 7, it will be... You're going to ask your question, so because 7 is a mild success, so you, I'm going to probably give you either incomplete clues or exposed to danger, whichever you prefer.
Okay, I think that it makes sense in this case that they're incomplete clues because she seems to be, like, not totally, like, in her right mind or whatever. So I guess the main question that I'm trying to answer vis-a-vis, like, this whole conversation is, like, is this person who looks like Ellie the Ellie who hired us?
All of the questions that you ask her, she says, I don't know. Who are you? I don't know.
Okay. The second question would be, like, what does she mean by, like, when Katie said that she took care of it, or, like, already, like, handled that? Like, what is that? What does she mean by that? Does she explain that anymore?
She says he's gone over and over again when you ask about how she handled it, or who she handled, rather.
Can we look and see if there's any, like, blood or anything on this crowbar? Like, has it been used to, like, you know, kill somebody, like, lately?
Yeah, I guess, like, that's a good question. Does the crowbar look like a murder weapon?
Yeah.
Like, is it covered in blood?
It's a good old-fashioned crowbar. There's no blood on it.
Okay. And I guess, like, I side-eye Turner, and I look at her, 'cause she is acting weird, and I'm just like, is it, like, I'm trying to gauge, like, is she a like robot?
She's a mouth poisoner.
Thank you. Turner is right once again.
Validation. Validation.
I mean, there. I might not be able to find out anything of that sort, but, like, I don't know. Like,
she responds with, "I'm Ellie."
We should do the thing in Blade Runner. We try and evoke emotional responses of the eyes.
Cells within cells, interlinked cells. No.
Exactly.
As you guys are discussing, Ellie kind of turns back to Nancy, and she says, "Do you want a kiss?"
No. Thanks. Not really the time or place, considering your dead fucking husband is in that building. You don't seem to be very concerned about that. You seemed a lot more concerned when you wouldn't wait for the police to get involved a day ago. That's still...
In the meantime, can I, like, investigate the kiss stain on the sheath?
Yes. Sure.
Okay, I'll do that in a second. Yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
I think it probably looks like a medieval helmet, really, and it's like the face guard.
Okay.
I look like the Prince of Wales in the Knight's Tale.
Great.
Nice.
Wonderful.
So maybe for this, I could use premonitions to see if I've seen, you know, poison. No?
A kiss on death.
like some sort of kiss of death sort of thing. And I also
You know
have
what?
a piece of the puzzle.
You seen that Batman
Yeah.
movie with Poison Ivy? I've seen it.
If
Great.
you don't limit yourself to just the helmet that he has, you could definitely use premonitions.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I don't care. I'll get all up in there. I'll investigate her mouth, her tongue, whatever. I'm here for it. I'm here. I'm ready. So yeah, I'm gonna use premonitions, and then I also have a piece of the puzzle, which maybe if this could indicate like it's a drug that I'm familiar with, that's part of a whole chain, or if it's like some other like piece of a big machine. I think those seem to be probably the only two that I know. I'm not a chemist or a mouth poison expert.
Sure.
Mouth poison
As hard as I try,
You got like a
my
dentist or
facade.
something?
Oh, 6. Okay.
I'm a
I will
mouth
give you
poison
one.
expert.
I will give you 1 for that since you did not get a hit on it.
Okay.
So you can ask me 1 question. It won't be a fantastic answer, but
Yeah. Okay. Oh Lord, I have a couple ideas. Can I like chat with you guys about it first before I like lock it in? So one idea that I have is like where did this come from? Like, could I recognize a distributor of something like this? Another one is like I mean I don't really want to ask like is she like a robot, because I think this poison would probably kill her if it was on her mouth and she was a normal person. That's just my
You could ask, like, what was the intent of this? Like, why does she insist on smooching people?
The other thing I wonder is like,
what is she trying to do?
yeah, is the poison somehow in control of her, or is something
Is it
else
even
controlling her?
poison? Like,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, Turner knows that he got the sense that like a danger sense that when she came close that he was near death, so he's pretty convinced. But like on a medical level, is
Yeah, I guess like so. What are the
Something
effects of this poison? Kind of like that in like what is it trying to do, and like what is it doing to her?
it doesn't affect her at all in any way. If there is poison, then that is like her weapon, I guess. Like she doesn't appear to really have much of another objective, so maybe that's why she tried to kiss Turner. It was like that was her only alternative option to deal with the fact that she was pinned down.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
weaponized smooches.
Yeah.
Okay, so like after Katie is like examining her and just everything, she'll say I'm not completely sure. I'm not really familiar with this type of stuff, but to me it seems like this woman somehow has like a kiss of death, and it's not impacting her at all. It's her weapon.
Did you have a chance to call your colleagues? Because maybe we should keep her around for when they get here.
Oh no, I got distracted when I saw her coming up with a crowbar and I didn't finish. I'm sorry.
Maybe you should do that. Ellie, why don't you sit down? And I like look at Turner for like, if she refuses, you should help her sit down. Like,
She kind of sits down and looks up at both of you.
we're gonna have
kiss me.
someone come and take a look at your husband's remains. Where you said that you took care of him. Where was that? So we can go ahead and make sure that everything's okay over there.
Oh, he's gone.
What happened?
You kiss him.
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean,
Like Katie's like holding her phone to her shoulder, like as if she's like on the call, and she's like, "What do you mean? Of course. What does that mean to you? What does a kiss mean to you?"
I mean, generally, I think it means that you like a person, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what's happening here.
She came here to kill her husband.
Was shot.
Her husband was killed by a gun.
Somebody else got to him first.
I think that's what she means.
Why would a woman hire people, even though she doesn't even remember that she hired people? Why would she hire people to investigate her husband's disappearance if she was the cause of it?
Could be somebody else. They already knew. They called you before the police would have investigated. They knew something was happening here, right? Maybe.
I mean, she certainly suspected that he didn't just run off of his own volition. But, I mean, he's her husband. She's probably familiar with his behavior more than the police would.
Broke up about him being dead.
No, but she doesn't seem to be quite herself right now. Something's obviously going on. I would recommend a more subtle way of discovering what's going on than sword to the neck. But we should still keep her here until the backup comes.
You're the investigator. You can do your job. I'm an ex-hitman. I'll hit any men. Try to stop you.
Wait, what?
Never mind, I didn't say that.
It's a metaphorical.
I'm just on
there
the
are still
phone.
robots here, though, trying to come. That we haven't seen any sign of them, have we? Like, no one's approached the offices or anything. We haven't seen any shadowy figures or anything like that.
Not recently, no.
Something's not.
Did you want to do something?
There's a part of Declan that thinks there's something else in the fairground that's not quite adding up, and he's increasingly, given his loner sort of demeanor, thinking about just slipping away and seeing what else he can't find here. He might just exchange a glance with Nancy because he sort of recognizes her as a like-minded, just do it, do what you got to do.
Shit done. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just kind of give her a look and take a look around.
Okay.
Maybe something else is out there. And Declan's going to try to keep to the shadows, but see if there's not someone else out here or something else that doesn't trip his instincts.
Maybe from the direction that What's-Her-Butt came in?
Yes. Yeah, see if I can't, walk, maybe ask Katie. She approached you from this way? This shadow?
As Katie's on the phone, she's holding her phone up and she's pointing. And she's yeah, over there, but it's really, really dark here. And she'll toss you a flashlight if you're going by yourself.
Okay. And he'll have his flashlight in one hand and his pistol in the other.
Okay, let's stick with that for a second. As you're kind of going forward, you're following the chain link fence essentially. This is the direction that she came from until it spills out into another area of the fairgrounds that you guys hadn't previously been to. And there appear to be actually lights on in one of the tents in the distance.
Like one of the big ones like we were in before. Are they moving? Is it flashlights that are is the light moving around, or is it stationary?
It's almost like it's performance lights. So like you were saying, some of them are moving around. You can't see too well, obviously, because the tent's not open, but the light's bleeding out in different areas more than others.
Okay. How far is it away from, am I closer to it or to my companions?
You're still closer to them than you are to the tent, but almost the halfway mark.
Do I know any of their phone numbers? Can I text them?
Yeah, you probably have each other's contact info.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
He's not very good at it.
Is it
at least one of them?
Yeah. He's got.
I've got my phone on me at all times.
He's got a 4th generation cracked screen phone kind of thing. And he just like texts Nancy, lights on at one of the tents, going to check it out.
I think that like she texts back, like she like pulls her phone out of her pocket when it like buzzes, and like she sees that you're doing some dumbass shit, and she texts back and she's like, if you get killed, and then she dots, and then she says, never mind, I'll be right there. Wait.
He'll wait. He'll wait.
And I think that I would turn to Turner and I'll be like, you make sure that this kiss crazed woman doesn't go anywhere. I'll be right back. And like motions to Katie, she'd be like, because you're like on the phone, and then runs off after Declan. So yeah, I come toward you and like I see the thing and I'm like, all right, well, turn off that flashlight.
Yeah, I'll put it in his pocket.
And then I think that like we'll probably like be like at first just like sneaking toward it, like walking, but I think that then I'm gonna do that thing again with the secret paths and be like, no, wait, like come this way, and like open a door or like brush through a tent and like come out on a totally different like angle, and like use my my mythos to like get us in a way that's like they wouldn't be looking for people from this direction. We're like hidden and can like get an idea of what's going on before they like see that we're there.
Totally normal for Declan. Opening a door and going somewhere different, totally normal thing. But he's quiet. He'll let Nancy take the lead.
So do you want me to roll for that?
No, you don't need to roll for that. You will be able to do that. However,
yeah, I'm not sure how the like powers work in this yet.
No. Some things are more narratively appropriate, while others are like when there's a critical moment. Usually, rolling is better, or for investigations, obviously. So in this particular case, yeah, you guys go through, and as you're walking, you could have sworn he was right behind you, Nancy, but when you look, he's not anymore. And you find yourself, the moment you kind of turn back again, you find that there is the funhouse of mirrors.
Yeah.
That. And that is where you, Nancy, are now. Declan, on the other hand, you wake up. And I say wake up because you feel like you've fallen asleep and now you're awake, except for you're not where you were before. And it feels almost like you're in a dream. Except for this dream happens to be in the middle of the day, nowhere near the fairgrounds. And I guess it's one of your old deals that you had when you were getting antiquities for a not so great but more shady individual. And you guys can narrate what exactly happens with that, but you can tell me what your dream looks like, who you're interacting with, etc.
So I wake up elsewhere, different time of day, different location, with this person who I've dealt with before. We'll call him Mrs. Connor.
Okay.
So, greetings, Miss Connor. I'm assuming everything's satisfactory?
Yes, of course. Always a wonderful job.
Is there a particular reason you called me here today?
Well, we have other work that needs to be done. You're always very reliable, so I'm sure we can arrange yet another wonderful exchange.
I'm sure we can come to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. What's tickling your fancy today?
Well, I've heard about this this person who wields some kind of a large axe. I'm not really sure what it's called. I'm still getting information on it, but I figured I'd tap you for, details and information as well. Then maybe you can find out from other people. He's a local person, but I'm trying to figure out if he has it on his persons or if it's somewhere else. I'm not really too sure yet, but I don't think he'll be needing it anymore.
I see. Who is this gentleman?
Oh, Paul, of course. You know, the man of that construction company.
Of course. Just wanted to be clear so that there was no missteps. Little mistakes, you see. Shall I return? Get you the axe?
That would be helpful.
Usual finder's fee acceptable?
Of course.
And he he's sort of like looking around, taking in his surroundings at this. Are we in her home? Are we at another location, or is it fuzzy?
Wherever you want it to be. This is your story here.
So we're in her the high-rise business office that she has, full of other objects that Declan's procured, and satisfied with the encounter. Well, one last question, Ms. Connor. The axe, any distinguishing features or properties you should be aware of?
You'll know it's the right one when you see it.
Always is. And trusting in his sort of reality-bending connection, he takes the private elevator and just sort of loses. He sort of does this breathing where he kind of stops seeing everything around him and just sort of takes it all in at once and allows himself to be controlled by the dream. See if it takes him back to where he's most needed.
Okay. We'll come back to that in just a second.
Yep.
Nancy. All those mirrors.
Yeah, and I think that the second she sees the mirrors, she's trying to get to a place where she's not being reflected as much. I mean, it's obviously probably really hard, but she's feeling really exposed with all the mirrors. And so there's a little bit of panic because she lost Declan, and also because this doesn't necessarily look like what would be inside of a tent. So she's not sure if she got to the right place or yeah, so she's just trying to I mean, does she hear anything or anybody? And if she doesn't, she's just trying to find a place to hide or,
Yeah. The feeling that you get, it's almost like somebody whispers to you, is that, isn't it so lonely all by yourself?
And that's just a feeling. It doesn't maybe she spins around and tries to see if there's someone behind her.
Yeah, it's like that feeling, and as if somebody's talking to you, but nobody's there kind of feeling, right? Is that echo in your head. Yeah.
Yeah, so she that comes at her, and I think that there's a little bit of goosebumps on the back of her neck, and she's looking around and trying to see where did that come from, who's doing that, why didn't my powers work the way that I thought they would, and then also kind of feeling a little bit I won't let somebody control me in this way, even if it's with fear. So there's a moment of panic, and then she punches one of the mirrors.
Okay. Yeah,
and
totally.
I think she says out loud, "Ha! Been alone my whole life."
Okay.
It take more than that to scare me. And there's definitely a little hint of a high pitched at the end of that sentence, because she is scared. She's just mad because she's scared.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so you're gonna punch through. the next area, like essentially you like punch through and then it shatters, and behind that is another mirror. And if you continue, I don't know if you continue to do that.
I mean, if nothing happens or answers her, like, does anything like change?
No, nothing like
so nothing
responds.
Happens. Okay. Right. Then I think that she would just like she punches the mirror, it breaks, there's like more mirrors, halls of mirrors, and I think that she's just gonna like start like not running, but like power walking through this place, like trying to find a way out of this like hall of mirrors. Okay. And I think that there's moments where she like I think right now she's scared enough that she's not trying to use her powers, but I think that if nothing happens for a little while, like if she can't find her way out, she'll like stop and like take a deep breath and be like, no, like I don't have to just like walk around and just like try and find my way out. I can make a way out. I'm better than this. And then she would try and like instead of like going through the labyrinth of mirrors, she would try and like make her own door, make a secret path to like get out.
Okay.
So I mean, it depends.
Yeah, change the game probably.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because this is definitely like higher stakes. So yeah, secret paths, obviously. I think that this is also kind of like independence, because she's like, they're like, isn't it horrible to be alone? And she's like, fuck no, I work well alone. And yeah, I think probably just those two. So let's big money, no whammies. I mean,
okay. 9 is good. Yeah. So you can create. Yeah, I would say probably create a temporary story tag that's like a hidden door or something like that to give you the benefit to get out.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like she just like one of the mirrors, she's like standing in front of it looking at herself and like the wavy like reflection, and then instead of like punching it, she like puts her hand forward like in the same manner, but then instead of the mirror like shattering, it like ripples and she like walks through it.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah. All right, cool. Very good. Let's real quick jump back over to Turner and Katie. It looks like your friend Ellie is kind of just sitting there, but then you probably time it about 5 minutes after Nancy left, she starts to get up. She like stands up and then immediately turns, not acknowledging either one of you, and starts walking in the same direction.
Yeah, Katie will immediately like run and try and get in front of her and be like, you have to stay here right now. You can't just get up and go.
She's just pushing you aside to get past you.
And Katie calls out and says, Turner, come help me. We have to hold her here.
You want me to take her down?
Do something.
All right. Well, she's a robot. Should I kill her?
Turner, just...
Another one said that I shouldn't
kill her. Now's not the time to strategize here. I know that usually I tell you to think about things, but just do something. She's getting away really fast and I can't hold her here much longer.
She had a lot of different things. It was very confusing. Okay. I will.
And I'm gonna hit it with the sword.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hit with all I've got.
Okay.
Great.
It's kind of human that I am.
Yes.
And I'm gonna use my transform into weapon, my destructive, tough as nails, expert killer. And I don't think she sees me coming because she's busy with
correct.
Katie. We'll see how this goes. That is a 12.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a very good roll. All right, let's see. What do we get here? At 12, you'll get to do pretty much whatever. So describe to me what happens here with your sword.
I'm gonna cut off her arm.
Oh.
As she's like grabbed Katie and is trying to push past her, I'm gonna slice through the arm. And it's like part experiment to see if it's like robotics. and part just being confused and lashing out because that's all he knows.
Okay, yeah. It comes clean off. You see the sparks start to come out of the side, and the arm that's on the ground.
She's a robot!
I said this the whole time, and everyone was like, "No, Turner, you're being silly. We shouldn't think about robots so much, Turner. Why you're obsessed with robots, Turner? You're some kind of loser. Transformers all the time, loser.
Okay,
You know what?
great.
Shia LaBeouf was right.
Great
It's a
job,
cannibal
Turner.
noodle.
I'm
Transformers
so proud
free.
of you right now, but if you could just continue what you're doing so we can celebrate when you're done, because
She's
still
now
going.
still walking. She's still walking, even with the
Go ahead,
arm.
take a little off the top, maybe.
Sure.
You can keep going with a 12 if you want to continue to pursue her with the same roll. You can, but she's still going.
Yeah, I stopped to just reaffirm that I was correct, and then I will slice off her face.
Her face?
Yeah,
Just the face. Okay, the face comes off from this robot
face
and cogs
initially.
and wheels and stuff, but she's still like, still walking.
Yeah, then I cut off her head.
Okay. She's made it about halfway down the way at this point, and the head finally kind of lobs off and it stops. And then the head falls and starts rolling. And then the body kind of hits the side of the chain link and it like cascades down, and you just hear metal all the way down as the body is at the bottom of the ground, on the ground.
This confirms all of my suspicions.
I guess you were right. Wow,
Yes.
what a world.
Well,
Well,
maybe
I
we
think
should
probably
tell
need to go
others
meet up with
about
the
this.
others, yeah. Figure out where they're going. And,
Now that we've shared in the joint murder of this.
yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
just give them an update.
look and see if you can see the flashlight that they're flashing around or something.
I got. I
You
just
can see
call-
the tent.
I'll call Declan actually.
You're gonna call who?
I'll call Declan first of all. So I saw them going together.
Declan, you don't hear it because we're about to go into that. So while that's happening, while you're calling,
Okay.
you're
I forgot
in
to charge
this
my phone.
thing. Oh no, it's because you're currently entranced in some other wonderful activity.
Oh, nice.
So your dream kind of takes you kind of all over the place. I'm just confirming this is a dream. You're experiencing some kind of out of body experience essentially. And it like you have a moment where you're talking to Miss Connor, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody grabs you, pulls you, and throws you into another scene, and you just like show up and you're looking around and you see that there's a group of people being surrounded by some of the automatons that you've already seen. And that group of people is there's a woman there and a few men and one older gentleman in the middle who's like touching the ground for some strange reason as these automatons are kind of surrounding them. And all of a sudden you see a quick flash of lights and one of the men appears behind one of the automatons as it shoves it down and starts running towards a tent. And the other person there, he's protecting the woman from the automaton. He's like seeing all these interesting and weird almost fights that are happening, but you never saw them before, but they're there in your mind and in your dream. And at that very moment, you follow through with the rest of it as the dream takes you to one of the other tents. As you now notice, this is actually the same fairgrounds that you have been at. And it shows one of the individuals running through what looks to be like some kind of explosion into another tent. And you see that when they emerge into this area, there's like a pavilion with 3 beds and a woman standing in front of one of them. And then your dream pulls you back out and throws you to where you are now, but with Nancy fighting through some kind of mirrors before she finally places her hand through and steps through. At that very moment, Nancy, you step out and you're face to face with Declan, and you both have had like your individual experiences, but you walk into the same spot.
Well, that's not how
What
that
the other way
usually
here?
works.
I took the long way around.
Yeah, I'm not sure. My way seemed pretty damn long.
There's something here in one of the pavilions, I think. There's some sort of... Well, I saw something. I'm not clear on what it is yet. And he's going to see if he can't just... I don't know, like... I describe it as like auto-walking, right? Just like see if he can just walk.
Yeah.
And whether or not it will take him in the general direction that he'd like to go.
Yeah.
And I think that like Nancy like probably like runs up to you like walking just like wherever, and she like pulls on your arm and like gets you to like pay attention to her, and she's like, no, this isn't what I was paid for. I was paid to figure out what the fuck happened to that asshole Paul. He's dead. That's what happened to him. My job is done.
Yeah.
I'm not getting into some robot fucking nonsense. All right. So if you want to
know what's going
continue
on,
to
Nancy?
follow your nose, no, I don't. Actually, there's plenty of trouble, and I don't need to go digging my nose into all of it. I have a paycheck to collect, and the woman who's paying me is that away.
Well,
So this whole mess is a lot. All right.
understand. Something's here, and where there's trouble, there's what I seek. Go get your money. I have a new client, and he'll strike off on his own.
Okay.
Good luck, Nancy.
You're gonna continue down, Declan. Turner and Katie. Turner, you didn't get an answer.
Heading back toward them, so like
Yeah, you guys are gonna cross each other's paths because basically Turner, you couldn't get a hold of Declan, but you see the tent with the lights in the far distance. So basically, you're gonna run into Nancy. So that's where we are right now. Is that scene?
Who was a robot?
What?
She was a robot.
a robot.
The whole time. That's who called it.
You mean Ellie?
Yeah.
Could have been
I'm
an
not
inch.
sure if human Ellie was the one who hired us and there's a robot duplicate, or if it's a robot
I mean,
the entire time.
she was obviously very different from the Ellie that you and I met.
I cut
For
off
one,
her
she
arm
didn't
and
give
her
a
head.
shit that her husband was dead.
So cut off her
So
face.
I was
I
even
would
wondering
like
if
to
her husband
hope
is
that
dead.
there's an actual living, breathing with blood and guts kind of Ellie. Because we know what happened to her husband. He was fucking murdered. So, and I think that like it's pretty late, right? It's like nighttime.
Yeah, it's like midnight, maybe a little bit later.
Midnight. Did you or did you not call your friends at the police department to get some fucking coroners out here?
I did. But then everything. Then
No,
Ellie
we're
started
robots.
walking, and she was coming to
Not
find
a tip
you, and
person.
we had to protect you, and we had to get rid of her. But I did
Cut
call.
off her face.
Well, we should. And then she's like, nah, fuck it. And she like takes her phone out and she dials Ellie's number. Like, even though it's midnight and not necessarily business hours, like she's gonna call it. Miss, what's her last name?
Woodworth, I think.
Miss Woodworth. So sorry to call you so late, but we found your husband, and it's not.
Is he all right?
It's not the best news. I'm gonna need you to come down and identify the body.
Body?
Yeah.
What's it?
Oh, he can't be. Oh no, he can't be dead. He just. No.
I'm sorry, but these things sometimes turn out this way.
Things do happen.
The police are on their way, and There's more. It's complicated, but you should come. The fairgrounds, his office.
What? Why would he be there? No, this doesn't. It can't be him. It's probably not him. You have to be wrong.
Why would he be at his own office?
No, he wasn't working. What do you mean? He was working the fairgrounds? When did that happen? No. I think you're mistaken as to who's there. You can't be right.
Okay, well, that's why we need you to come down and identify him. Maybe it's not your husband, but you're the one who knows him best. I only seen pictures.
I'm not. I can't come down to the fairgrounds. That the place is abandoned and creepy and.
Your husband is dead.
There'll be police officers. They can keep you safe. We're gonna need. I mean, from what I can see, this is his construction company. It's his office, and it's his face.
What if it's somebody he works with? What if it's not him?
That's what we need you for. Right?
I don't think I can.
I think I want to use smooth talk. I want to be like, no, honey, it's okay. Come on, like over the phone, be like, no, because there was a robot that was her. I think it's important that she come here, you know, and also there's gonna be police people, so it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. So there's like I think what happens, like if it's not a role, if it's just fictional, like you can have a role depending on like how much you do or don't want, like but I think what happens is Nancy turns away a little bit from Katie and Turner, and like her voice gets a little bit like deeper, and like through like in real life it doesn't like sound like too weird, but through the phone like it's like switching from mono to stereo or whatever. Like all of a sudden there's like more depth to her voice, and she says to Ellie, she's like, I need you to get in a cab and come down to the fairgrounds right now. All right?
Okay.
All right. And then she just hangs up.
Okay.
Maybe it looks like mortified that you would just like call someone and be like, I found your husband's body, I want you to come. That's it. Like Katie is like, you know, like freaking out, and she's like, is she?
There was a robot with her face on it.
Even for me, that was cold.
But I mean, don't you think that's going to be a little bit traumatic for her to come see her dead husband and then see herself? She's also
okay. She's gonna have to see him either way, right?
We should check to see if she's a robot, just in case.
Okay, there's not two robots of her.
Why?
She was obviously more like human and emotive, and like she talked like she knew me. Where this woman,
everything we know is a lie.
I definitely went to go look after some other. He's no longer on this case. It's fine. I didn't do anything to him, I swear. But he's looking for something else. I don't know. It's an entire thing.
You're looking real suspicious right now.
I really can't be here to see her face when she sees all of this. I can't. I'm gonna go find Declan.
Isn't this your job?
Not showing them the bodies.
I'll talk to your friends when they get here then. And
it's gonna take a while.
Yes,
it's a heads
Ellie.
up for the police to arrive. Because you guys are like on the far outskirts of town, so it's gonna take the police quite a while.
It'll take like the same length for her then. But yeah, I'll wait, because like I think Nancy's like pretty much like all of this other shit, it ain't my job. What's my job? Is that body. And I'm not like dipping my toes in this mystical robot bullshit.
At this point, Turner is convinced that Nancy is a robot, having disappeared with Declan, and Declan didn't return. And now she's inviting other people to the creepy fairground. This looks very suspicious to him. He's convinced.
Oh, god damn it. I'm not a robot.
Are we doing PvP here? What's going on?
He's not killing her. He's just convinced. He's just making her note.
Okay, you're going to try to convince her to come with you? Is that what you're doing?
No, he's not trying to do anything. He's just watching her for robotics. And when she inevitably turns on us, then I will kill her.
let's do some kind of a player move here, so that we can push a little bit of the roleplay and story forward a little, so that, like,
yeah. I think that like my tack is like Nancy's going back to the like body and like basically like camping out next to it and like, you know, folding her arms, like kind of like looking disgustedly at the weird robot corpse. And like if Turner's like buzzing around her, she would just be like, dude, what? Declan's fine. See, Katie's going after him. It's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
So you, Turner and Nancy went back all the way to the trailer. Is that what happened?
That's the direction that Nancy would be going in. If there's like other shit happening, then yes, we're splitting the party. It's fine.
So Katie's going to go off by herself to find Declan. I'm just making sure you guys are aware where everybody's going. Declan's off by himself. Katie's about to go look for him by herself.
Yeah.
Turner.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Going with Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that your final answer? Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
God.
Totally kidding. So, all right. Declan, you are just autopilot, like you were saying. You know exactly where you're going. You remember it from the dream somehow. You don't know how, you just do. And you come up to this tent that you saw, and you actually see some of the plants that you saw in the dream before, but they have like automatons wrapped in them, and it's from a distance. So you're coming in from one other side of the tent, essentially, that you remember seeing as an explosion goes off, and you walk in, and it's the scene that you remember, except for behind the woman, what you weren't focused on before, but you can see now is there's a group of people as well. And she goes to sit down on the bed that's in front of her, and she is electrocuted. And that's where we're going to end.
Oh, damn. Now I'm pissed.
What the heck?
Meta does this every goddamn time.
You're all good.
I guess I never knew that. Mysteries. Robots. Everyone's a robot.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Well, my friends, that's what we're going to end tonight's episode of City of Mist, Nights in Payne Town. If you enjoyed City of Mist, check it out on the website, cityofmist.co. There's a Gleam giveaway here, and in a few seconds' time, I'll be running the giveaway for you guys in the chat for a PDF copy of City of Mist's the core rulebook. So definitely go and check those guys out. And they're on Kickstarter right now. Click those links and title, and you can go and find them there. Let's go around the cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? And of course, where can we find you guys online? Ladies of you in chat, stick around because we've got a new episode of The World's Tree Burns D&D 5e, sponsored by Cobalt Press, coming up in just a few minutes' time. But Metamancy, you did it again. How was that for you?
It was good. It was good. Yeah, if you were here yesterday, you will have noticed I picked the party up where last night's party left off, sort of. So yeah, it's really cool. I came at it at a different angle, which is really fun because there's just so many aspects to this whole scenario that we couldn't even begin to think about touching in the short time span that we get. But yeah, I had a great time as always. Love City of Mist, and you guys can find me on Twitter at the Metamancer. Follow me there for all the roleplay stuffs.
Fantastic. Those of you in chat can type !Mist in order to enter yourself into the giveaway for City of Mist PDF. But great job, Meta. It's been a pleasure the past couple of days playing more City of Mist. If you're looking forward to Thursday, where we play the Larkspur sequence. Great stuff. Sid, same questions for you.
I don't know. I am shook down to my core. My very core has been shaken. Yes. Oh my god. So good though. So good. This is like the best way to this is the best way to feel when you're leaving a game. It's like, oh my god, I'm so mad that it's over because I want to know what is happening. Oh my god, I need to like drink some water and like calm down really quick. But yes, you can find me probably writing conspiracy theories just about this on Twitter at Sid Shields. Yeah. Oh yeah. If you should probably follow me on Sid_Shields since my other account is gone since Twitter thinks I'm 12. I swear I'm not. I'm 20. I'm 20 years old. I'm an authentic 20. So follow me at Sid_Shields. That's the new one. Thank you very much. Good night.
Great stuff, Sid.
You're such a wee bab. You're only 20.
Yeah.
So small.
My Twitter thinks I'm 12.
Jim.
Oh my god, this is my first time playing City of Mist and any Powered by the Apocalypse game for that matter, and man, I am having a blast with it. I do not want to stop. I have a toddler to help put to bed and a computer to hand over to Emma, but this is a great game. Metamancer, what a wonderful MC and helping us navigate this noir mystical detective story here. Really had a great time. You can check me out on WebGM. We're on YouTube and Twitch and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, great times and great to play with you guys.
Awesome stuff. And Blue Jay.
I thought it was grand. I really 3 hours isn't a lot to run any kind of story, and I feel like Meta did a good job of just throwing us straight in there and letting us use the system in cool ways, and also indulging in the robot madness. I'm Blue Jay, and you can find me most days on twitch.tv/BlueJay or on Twitter at BlueJay_712 if you want to see more of the role playing I've done. All of the stuff I've ever done is on bluejay.tv/portfolio. So you can check out everything there, including some stuff that I did on Encounter Roleplay before. Also, Jim, Powered by the Apocalypse systems are literally the best, and you should play all of them.
I hear that there are some very good ones. Some of them that have the initials D and W that I should try out.
Mean Adam Cole's multi-award-winning tabletop role-playing game Dungeon World?
I certainly do.
I hear there's on the drums.
But yes, it is.
I have to say that every time because I signed a contract.
You're contractually obligated.
I'm contractually obligated to say the entire title of that game.
And end it with a TM.
Yes, TM.
Great stuff. Well, my friends, tonight's where we're going to end the City of Mist premieres. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed them over the last couple of nights. It's been great to see so many people turn out, especially last night's campaign was fab to have some new role players with us here on the channel and to introduce them to the first tabletop experience on City of Mist. And we look forward to more City of Mist on Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, with Metamancer here and a great fab crew of role players on Encounter Roleplay. And then we're going to head right into our next show right now, which is the World Tree Burn. So until next time, my friends, try not to draw too many nat ones. We want to be there laughing when you do. Good night, everyone. Bye!